at Gossett Kia on the Pike. A new ride that boosts 41 mpg highway and 2023 Kia Forte LXS. $229 a month, $29.99 to its signing. How about 2023 Nero EV Wind SUV? 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 to its signing. And 2023 Kia EV6 Wind. Get up to 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 to its signing. Plus a free charger with your EV purchase, all 36-month leases, and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE 678 6055, MSRP 21610, Nero P501 7859, MSRP 41090, EV6 P501 7859, MSRP 49687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Go where the season takes you, and it'll take you to huge savings at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Be packed with power in 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. 37 mpg combined, $18,755 or $199 a month. Ready for adventure? 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $25,595 or $299 a month. Plus 7 seating and top safety pick 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SUV, $32,185 or $399 a month. And every new Gossett Mitsubishi is equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months, 500 military rebate, loyalty, conquest rebate, 500, G4, RHFO 1918, MSRP 19255, Sport, PU 015-137, MSRP 26595, Outlander RZ 006545, MSRP 33185, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the long clocks, wanna take the 8:15 into the city.
Big day today in Memphis. Huge day if you're a fan of the University of Memphis, an alum of the University of Memphis, as tonight, starting at just after 6 o'clock, the University of Memphis Tigers will take on the Tulane University Green Wave in a huge football game featuring two teams that are 4-1 and undefeated in conference play. That will be one of the topics we'll be talking about today on Sports 56 Mornings as we welcome you in on this Friday the 13th. Yes, the Friday, October 13th, 2023 edition of the program. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. The world's biggest spa sale continues at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. As you get your Friday morning going, looking at 66 degrees, cloudy skies currently. Today, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a slight chance of rain, but a very slight chance. High of 81 degrees. For the football game, it's going to be absolutely out of this world. It'll be in the 70s, dropping down into the 60s, and then overnight we're looking at around 56 degrees and a few clouds, with tomorrow mostly sunny to kick off your weekend with a high of 70 degrees. Coming up on the program today, we'll, of course, talk with our buddy John Varlas in studio, as we always do every Friday. That'll be at 7:25, John from the Daily Memphian. At 8:25, the University of Memphis Vice President, Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Laird Veach, will join us to talk about not only this big game tonight, but where Memphis athletics is at this point here in late 2023, and what is the latest as far as the stadium deal in Memphis. And then at 9:05, handicapper Brandon Lang, in his colorful way, will handicap some of the big college football and NFL games coming up this weekend. We'll do 10 in a row at 9:25, and I warn you to participate, to get involved, and to get involved early, because I'm teetering on whether or not to pull the plug after all these years on the great game show that has swept the nation, 10 in a row. So there, that's my I'm warning to you. If you want to hit us up on the Sports 56 listener lines, 901-360-8255. Call in or text in. Message us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or on the website, sportsmemphis.com. What a night it was in sports last night with Major League Baseball playoffs, with the NFL, with college football, even the Grizzlies in action in preseason play. And we'll talk about all of that coming up on the program today. Happy Friday. Happy Friday the 13th to you.
Happy Friday the 13th. Congratulations on your Phillies.
Thank you. I did a lot to help. I worried. I bit my nails. And it's only 2 series. They got 2 more to go. You know, the ultimate, I always say, the ultimate is win it all, man. Do something in the postseason. And so far, they've been really, really good. We know what the Braves did during the regular season, record-breaking year at the plate hitting home runs. It was the Phillies that were bombing the home runs in that series. Ending last night, as they were able to beat Strider twice. That's a huge feat to be able to do that.
He can't beat the Phillies in the postseason. Dominates them in the regular season. 8-0 during the regular season. 0-3 in the postseason against the Phillies.
Isn't that incredible?
It's bizarre. Again, it's one of those wonderful things that baseball does. It's just weird things happen, but I mean, the fact that the Braves hit a total of 3 home runs in the series.
Two by the Memphian.
Yeah, 2. And then Travis d'Arnaud is the other one. Acuna does not hit one. Olsen does not hit one. It's just the idea that the NLCS does not include either the Dodgers or the Braves, when it just seemed inevitable that those would be the 2 teams playing in the NLCS. It's crazy, but. Nick Castellanos. I loved Nick Castellanos when he was with the Cubs. I wanted him. I was hoping they would possibly be able to re-sign him. They really didn't even make an effort at that time to re-sign him. I love his personality. I think he's fun, and I think he's fantastic, and he can flat out hit. It is amazing to me that through all the years of baseball, that nobody had ever hit multiple home runs in back-to-back postseason games. Not that it's an easy feat. Not that I would have thought it happened 20 times, but I would have thought somewhere along the line, somebody would have hit a couple of home runs in back-to-back games in the postseason, but lo and behold, it had never happened until Nick Castellanos does it.
I was surprised by that as well. You're right. I mean, we do see something different seemingly every day, even in the game of baseball, which has been played for so long. But I go back to Fernando Tatis hit 2 grand slams in an inning. So I figure that there had to have been somebody in all the years of the postseason to hit multiple home runs in back-to-back games. But it did not happen. But Castellanos, I love the guy. He's a perfect Philadelphia Philly. They got some boppers on that team. It got really nervous for me and Phillies fans with the parade of relief pitchers, because the one weakness the Phillies have is middle relief pitching, and they started walking guys, and I thought, come on, man, just attack these batters, and they're walking dudes. They're giving them opportunities. Rojas with the great catch in center field off the fly ball from Acuna, which could have changed things. There were a lot of opportunities for Atlanta. But look, here's the bottom line. As I said last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, you have to be, you can only look at this as extremely disappointing for the Braves and for the Dodgers, but specifically the Braves, who had their pitching intact. Now, Morton was out, and there were some guys banged up, but they had their pitchers. There's no excuses. People are trying to make up this, it's best of 5 and not a best of 7. Shut up. The Phillies are just better than the Braves. That's all there is to it. They're better than them. I don't care what happens during the regular season. All I care about is the postseason. I've said it with the Grizzlies. I've said it with everything. And if you're going to sit there and be a Braves fan and go, I'm satisfied, they had a great regular season, then you're not a true fan of the Braves or a true fan of baseball. You're doing them a disservice. Now, every team that gets into the postseason, you can't say should win it all. I don't think the Phillies should win it all. That's why I think for the Phillies, this is great. If they lose to the Diamondbacks, I'm not going to say it's a very disappointing season. I expect them to beat Arizona as hot as they've been. But if they come up against the Astros in the World Series, and maybe even Texas, but specifically the Astros, I don't expect them to win, and it would not be deemed disappointing because the Phillies were not the picks. The Braves had a record-setting season. It wasn't just, they squeaked by, they won the East by 2 in the National League. They crushed everybody. They crushed everybody with the numbers, with hitting. Strider and company were great pitchers. The Braves, Yeah, they got a World Series title. They had one under Bobby Cox with all those great years. You have to win multiple. To do with that type of team and that type of organization, you have to win multiple. And again, I can't tell you how you should feel, Braves fans. I'm not rubbing it in. I really didn't fear the Braves. I was nervous last night, but I didn't fear the Braves as much as I would absolutely fear the Astros. So I don't know how you can look at it other than extremely disappointing.
Well, going out, winning one postseason game.
Yeah,
for them, for the Dodgers, for the Orioles. All these teams. Like when you get into the postseason and with 100 wins and you're the number 1, number 2 seeds and you don't win a single series, and in the case of Orioles and Dodgers, don't win a single game. It's obviously that's a epic failure in the postseason for those teams. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but I could also, and you're right. I'm not arguing that. But I could also look at the Orioles and go, they weren't expected to do much coming into the season. They were a big surprise. The Braves were expected to do something. The Dodgers were expected to do something. The Dodgers had, and no excuse, they had some problems with pitching, with injuries, with off the field, really screwed up their whole rotation. The Braves were cruising going in. The Braves were cruising. They were a big, major disappointment. But the Phillies now get the Diamondbacks. Again, Arizona, another surprise. The Diamondbacks are red hot. So you have Arizona, you have Philadelphia. Philadelphia, the only team left east of the Mississippi. And then you have the All-Texas affair, which should be a lot of fun with the Astros and the Rangers. That's where we stand with baseball.
If I'm not mistaken, the 4, it seems like, probably guys who will finish the top 4 in the NL MVP voting in Acuna, Olsen, Betts, and Freeman had a combined 1 extra base hit in the postseason.
Wow.
That was the double by Acuna. Olsen, if it wasn't for Olsen, they would only have like 2 combined hits, but Olsen had like 4 hits, but I think they were all singles. But those 4 guys who had unbelievable years had a combined 1 extra base hit in the postseason.
That's crazy.
And their teams won a combined 1 game in the postseason.
Yeah, and that's not because, there was a long layoff. No, they didn't come through. There are players that are clutch and there are players that are not clutch. And you could be clutch one season and not the next season in the postseason. There's no question about that. And then there are guys that are just, they come up big when the lights are bright. Bryce Harper is one of them. Castellanos looks like he's one that does as well. Trey Turner, who's had an interesting year with the Phillies, with the fans booing him early, and then he got it going. He had a 4-hit night. They just all seem to come through. Now, I don't understand why Rob Thompson continues to bat Alec Boehm at number 4, cleanup hitter, when the guy's hitting under the Mendoza line in the postseason, and Castellanos is hitting 7th. I don't understand that. But, managers are superstitious. They get their order, and as long as they're winning, they don't want to mess around with a formula. So, anyway, that's enough on baseball. I'm excited. Sorry, Braves fans, and I know a lot of you out there. And I feel for the diehards. For the fair-weathered, I couldn't care less. All right.
I feel bad for Marcell Ozuna. Not.
No, you don't. No, you don't. By the way, I don't know how those guys do it. Acuna, Ozuna, a lot of the guys that have like 8 pounds of chains around their neck. Swinging. I understand a chain, maybe like I wear a chain, but they got a lot of chains. You would think it'd be like in their way as they were swinging, but obviously when you look at the year Acuna had, not so much. But the postseason, yeah, he didn't come through. But Austin Riley, the Memphian, almost did me in. And that would have really sucked if it was the Memphian that did in my Phillies. He had another home run last night to account for the only Bravos run in the 3-1 loss. All right, last night, the Grizzlies in action in Atlanta in a preseason game. Another, pretty good game, a fun game. I was back and forth with about 8 different things last night. It was really a good sports night. And listen to Pete and Brev and Fish. And again, those guys are true professionals because they make a preseason game sound exciting. There was no Derrick Rose, no Tripp, no Bain, no Kennard, no LaRavia, no Conchar. And the the Hawks started their normal starting five. They didn't play the entire game, but Trae Young's out there. All those guys were out there. And in the second half, it was a bunch of guys who aren't going to see the floor, but it went right down to the wire, and the Hawks won 103-102. Grizzlies had a chance at the buzzer there, came up a little short. Santi Aldama played 22 minutes at 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He's going to be an integral part of the Grizzlies' bench brigade. And then G.G. Jackson, who was cold at first but got hot, 24 points for the Rook in 26 minutes. Early on, it was Zaire Williams. He had his first, I think, 4 triples, if I'm not mistaken. So he looked good. I think he's pretty much sewn up that starting small forward position to begin the season. I don't know because Taylor's mixing up his lineups and his rotation in the preseason. Maybe he's already set with Kennard in his mind. But I think Luke's going to come off the bench. I think it will be Zaire, and he looked pretty good as well. So the Grizz now get ready for the Heat on Sunday. I would imagine they go right to Miami, hang out a couple of days on South Beach, give the guys a little bit of rest and relaxation. They don't come back home, do they?
I do not know what the plan was for this. I have no idea if they're flying back or not.
The starting 5 for the Grizzlies was Steven Adams, so he played Game 3 after playing Game 1 and skipping Game 2. Zaire, David Roddy, Santi Aldama, and Jacob Gilyard. I can guarantee, Eli, you're never going to see that starting 5 in the history of the Memphis Grizzlies basketball.
Unless it was a game 82, possibly. You might get that. I'm still amazed. Shaq Harrison played 23 minutes and didn't take a shot. You know how hard that is in an NBA game?
Yes.
Especially a preseason game when, let's be honest, who cares?
Right.
23 minutes. Never took a shot in the game.
How many assists did he end up in turnovers? Because with Rose not playing, Smart not playing again.
He had 1 assist, 0 turnovers.
That's all he had was 1 assist? Wow.
He had 2 blocks, 5 rebounds. He did shoot free throws.
Backed up Gilyard.
Took 4 free throws, but 0 field goal attempts.
Why
in
is
23 minutes of an NBA preseason game? That's crazy.
Why is Vince Williams, and I know he's a two-way guy, right? Mm-hmm. Vince Williams. Why is he not more in the mix when it comes to the conversation about Zaire and Roddy and LaRavia and all that? Vince Williams.
To be starting? To be in a rotation? No.
Vince Williams, to me, Vince Williams seems like he's better than LaRavia.
No.
Okay. I mean, he rebounds the basketball well. He didn't shoot the rock great last night, but he gets to the free throw line. I don't know. I like Vince Williams. I like him. All right. One other note from the NBA. Our buddy Dylan Brooks was fined $25,000 by the league for making contact with Daniel Tice in the nether regions, if you will.
Pretty standard.
Already an ejection for Dylan Brooks and a $25,000 fine from the NBA. Last night in the NFL, not really much to say. You knew it was going to be a crap game, and it was. The Chiefs beat Denver 19-8. Patrick Mahomes has never lost to Denver. I believe that's correct. They are now 5-1. Denver's 1-5. Of course, the story, and you know Al Michaels was very excited about this because he always is now with this whole Taylor Swift deal. But Taylor was there. The Swifties were there, too.
Let's be honest. Taylor Swift is a terrible sports fan. She gets way too emotional about small. Like, Kelsey made the catch to get back to the 10-yard line. She's up there hugging Brittany Mahomes as if he just scored the game-winning touchdown in a Super Bowl. Like, calm down. I can't imagine. If they, go to the Super Bowl and he does make a big play in the Super Bowl, I don't know what she's going to do. Like, the dude literally made a catch and got to the 10-yard line. She is up there hugging. Like, oh, my God, did you see? Like, what? Come on, Swiftie. Just calm down a little bit. It's just simply a catch. He's got 9 of them in the game.
But Taylor Swift is the type of person who, if she sees, I don't know, an ant on the ground and she saves that ant from being trampled, she would, be the most excited person in the world. It just seems like she's so happy. She's got a great life, but so over the top on every little thing. So that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. But Al Michaels, I just feel like Al Michaels, if he gets another Chiefs game, first of all, these Thursday night games aren't the greatest. He gets another Chiefs game and she's there. He may walk out of the booth. He might just retire. He has the money. He has the prestige. Al Michaels just might leave. I'm tired of this. I want to talk some football. I don't want to talk about Taylor Swift. But anyway, so again, for the conspiracy theorists, I don't know if this strengthens your case or you feel more like there is really a relationship between Taylor and Kelsey.
If at this point you think this is just some fake thing, like that's ridiculous.
I think so too.
First of all, it's ridiculous to begin with, but you think they're just dragging this out? She just continues to go to his games, goes crazy every time he gets a catch because it's an act for whatever stupid reason people think they're acting. I don't know what it is. I don't know what
I'm with you.
Possibly think they're like, I don't know, she needs the publicity, he needs the publicity, I don't know, whatever. But I mean, goodness gracious. Like if that's her acting, then God bless her.
Well, there's people that still don't believe we walked on the moon. They still don't believe the earth is round. So, yeah.
Taylor Swift walked on the moon, for goodness sake. She acts as if every time Travis Kelce does anything, she reacts as if Travis Kelce is walking on the moon.
She moonwalked on the moon to Travis Kelce.
I mean, it's like, goodness. Hugs to the quarterback's wife should be reserved for at least a touchdown. Can we make it at least a touchdown?
I'm waiting for Kelsey's mom to turn around and, like, when she tries to hug her, just kind of put up her arms and go, all right, come on, settle down, Taylor. So, it was a 3-yard catch and run.
I mean, that's like literally like it could be that. It could be like a 5-yard completion on 1st and 10, and she's just up there going, oh my goodness, did you see that? What an amazing play.
The ball was in the air. He put out his hands, and the ball went into his hands, and it didn't fall to the ground. How did that happen?
She must be exhausted after the games. Like I think she probably feels like she's played the game more than Travis Kelce feels like he's played the game.
Yeah, really. Also last night, if that wasn't enough, we had some college football. In the American Conference, which is the important game, of course, for Memphis, SMU beat East Carolina 31-10. It was actually pretty close, and then SMU opened it up at the end. East Carolina's bad. They're just a bad football team. Looks like SMU is as good as I thought. They got a good quarterback who really can chuck the ball down the field and good receivers. But SMU, an easy win in Greenville by 3 touchdowns. And then I certainly would put this in my top few of the craziest endings I've ever seen in a college football game, maybe just in a football game, period. Did you watch the ending of the Houston game against West Virginia?
I was not watching it. I saw the highlights of it.
Okay.
I was not watching it.
And I'm not just talking about the Hail Mary. The totality of the end of that game was crazy. So here's West Virginia, Houston are going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is a Big 12 game. And Houston ends up with an 11-point lead, 35-24, less than 4 minutes to go. They go into the conservative defense, and West Virginia goes right down the field, and they score a touchdown. They go for 2, and they convert the 2-point conversion. So now, trying to do math here, 35-32, pulls them within a field goal. They don't do an onside kick. They kick off and hope their defense can stop Houston. The defense stops Houston. Houston punts. West Virginia gets the ball back. West Virginia is down 3. They're at the 50-yard line. There's 13 seconds to go in the game. Guy throws one to the tight end. Tight ends are always open. The tight end beats the defenders to the end zone. Touchdown. They go ahead. 13 seconds to go. 4th and 10, mind you, converting with the tight end for the touchdown. 15-yard celebration penalty. So they're going to get the ball way up there in pretty good position. But they're down 4 now. They need a touchdown. A field goal doesn't help them. They complete a pass. They got 1 play to go, a Hail Mary. They throw it up. It's tipped in the end zone. The guy catches it. Houston wins. I was just about to tweet out that may be the game that finally is the straw that breaks the camel's back as far as Dana Holgorsen. Going up against his former team, Houston, the struggles, he's probably out. He may have very well saved his job on a Hail Mary tip pass that was caught, and Houston beats West Virginia. One of the craziest finishes that I've ever seen in football.
The crazy, the receiver who caught the deflection almost fell down. Like he got bumped, like stumbled and almost fell down. But then, like right as he popped up, he like looks up and the ball's just floating to him. He's like, "Oh, hey, how about that? There's a ball." And it was, it's a pretty incredible play. A 12-second drive to win the game. On the other side,
coaching.
Both those coaches need wins.
Yes, it may have saved Holgersen's job.
Neil Brown, that's not a good way to. That's not he's coaching for his life, his job too. So that's not good on either side, whoever was going to lose that game.
By the way, of course, the big story is Memphis and Tulane tonight, 6 o'clock kickoff. John Varlas will join us next. We'll not only talk about prep football, the big MUS Christian Brothers game. A lot of teams are off today, but we'll get John's thoughts, obviously, on that game between the Green Wave and the Tigers.
Could you imagine if Travis Kelce caught a Hail Mary like that?
She would have
Taylor
exploded.
She'll just jump out of the suite. I don't know. She's just going to go body surfing out of the suite down to the field. She wouldn't know how to react if he made a play like that.
Unbelievable. What a night it was. And I didn't even bring up the fact that the PGA Tour is out in Las Vegas, and there's a woman, an LPGA player, that's playing in this men's event, Lexi Thompson, and she looked pretty good in the first round, although she has 2 holes to go. Darkness beset the players. I don't know how they can, unless they had some delay because of weather. I don't know how they can't fit everybody's round in. But she went with 16 holes, and she was 1 under par. Now, it's a seemingly easy course for the pros. Bo Hostler shot a 9 under 62. But right now, with 2 holes to play to finish her round today, she's 76 in a 132-player field. You go, girl. Good start for Lexi Thompson. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. They do offer financing, different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company or out of pocket, whatever it takes. They do residential and commercial roofing. So business owners and property managers out there, if you have a leak or any other roofing problem, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof. All their work is satisfaction guaranteed. They do carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up fencing. They can install shingles, siding, rotten wood repair. Whatever you can't do, call the experts at Pinnacle. Again, they'll do the job, and if you don't like it, if you're not satisfied, they will make sure you are. They guarantee everything that they do. Again, a locally owned and operated company. Call Brandon today. Tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings, 901-438-5084, or go online to newroofmemphis.com. It's Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. John Varlas is next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
At Sissy's Log Cabin, you'll find only spectacular natural diamonds that will remain treasured for generations. That promise is now symbolized by the engraved Sissy signature and sapphire, representing our guarantee of extraordinary service, selection, experience, and quality. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience the Sissy's promise for yourself. Find a jeweler for a lifetime, only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
Ready to unlock your home's potential? A huge sale has up to 50% off retail at Everything's Yours Appliances with 2 convenient locations in Mississippi, 7095 Hacks Cross Road, Olive Branch, and 8478 Highway 178 West in Byhalia. Invest in new appliances knowing you got a great deal. Everything's Yours Appliances has no credit financing available with low down payment and delivery. Everything's Yours Appliances has all major appliances and name brands. Hurry to Everything's Yours Appliances, where customers are number one.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. A couple of accidents out here in the last hour or so. It's actually in pretty good shape right now on 385 Bill Morris Parkway coming inbound. As you get onto 240, watching traffic increase in the last 15-20 minutes up through South Haven on 55 going northbound, coming in from DeSoto County. And it's a little bit crowded sometimes over here already on Austin P Highway southbound, trying to work your way towards the interstate. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, located 7525 Highway 64. They want you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Oh, I was dancing the night away last night. Phillies off to the National League Championship Series. It's Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th. The Tigers and Tulane tonight. Yeah, it's a good Friday. It's a weekend approaching, exciting Friday with the sports world just obviously packed, jam-packed with all different types of sports, including Friday night high school football. And here to talk about it is John Varlas.
It's time for Greg and Eli's weekly visit with John Varlas of the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep sports coverage and more at dailymemphian.com. Now, here's John Varlas with Greg and Eli.
They call him the Dark Prince of high school football. The one and only, award-winning John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. He joins us every Friday to talk high school football and other sports happenings as well. And that includes today as he joins us in studio. You can follow John on Twitter at John Varlas. JV, how are you?
Hey, good morning. I want to share something right quick with you guys because I know you're both golfers and you might have missed this. So we had the state golf tournament for the large publics and the large private schools Monday and Tuesday in Sevierville. A young man from Briarcrest named Henry O'Keefe. So it's a really tough course, you know, because it's rolling hills and stuff like that up in East Tennessee. It's a lot different from what the kids play on here locally. So Henry O'Keefe from Briarcrest goes out and shoots 9 under for 2 rounds.
Wow.
And here's the punchline. He wasn't even close to winning. So there's this kid from Brentwood Academy named Blades Brown. He shot
Blades Brown?
Blades Brown. He shot 14 under for 2 rounds. He shot 130 for 2 rounds. He won the state title for the 3rd year in a row, and he's only a sophomore, so he won when he's in that.
What?
He
won as an 8th grader.
It gets better. The story keeps getting better and better.
What?
So he won as an 8th grader. He won last year as a freshman, and then he won again this year as a sophomore. He's played 6 rounds of the state tournament in, let me do the math right quick, 14, 10, 11, 35 under. He's played 6 state tournament rounds and 35 under. So and I just felt so kind of really bad for Henry O'Keefe because he's a really talented kid in his own right, and 9 under par is going to win pretty much every state tournament. And unfortunately, he wasn't even.
Did he not medal?
Well, he finished second.
Oh, he did finish second. Okay.
But typically 9 under par would win you virtually every high school tournament anywhere ever.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Blades wants to be a professional golfer.
I've never talked to him, but I'm sure he has those aspirations. He actually broke Bobby Jones's record for the low amateur at the U.S. Amateur.
Wow!
It was a 106-year-old record, and he recently broke that record.
Bobby Jones record.
So just because I know you guys are golfers, but this kid might be the next big thing in golf.
I mean,
so,
I wonder who. Colleges have to be falling all over themselves.
Absolutely.
He's only a sophomore.
Oh, yeah.
He's still growing, probably.
No, probably. You're right. He's not a big kid at all. He's not. And, but shout out to Henry O'Keefe. I mean, he played really well. Again, it's a super challenging course that the kids play on. With the hills, there's a lot of walking on this course.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very difficult course.
Demanding, right?
Yeah, demanding, and not not like anything you have here because of the elevation and everything.
What year is O'Keefe? Is he a senior?
O'Keefe's a sophomore too.
Oh my goodness!
So
we're in good hands. The future of golf.
Oh, for sure. We've definitely got some good golfers in our area. But shout out to Henry. Shout out to Sophie Christopher of Houston, who also finished runner-up in her division. She won last year as a junior, and she finished runner-up this year as a senior. So, definitely some good golf. But, no, I just wanted to kind of share that about.
It's a good story.
I know you guys are golf fanatics and appreciate a good golf game.
Well, we're also football fanatics, and tonight with high school football, not your typical Friday because the city schools are off, but there are still some big games. And, of course, the great rivalry is renewed tonight, Christian Brothers and MUS.
Yeah, huge rivalry. But every time you get together with the Owls and the Brothers, you're bound to have fireworks. I don't think necessarily that some segments of the fan bases are too keen on the opposite side of the fence. But I know those programs themselves, the coaching staffs, the people on the inside. I know there's a great mutual respect, and I think that's what makes a rivalry great. You have that mutual respect. You want to go out there and crush the other guys every time you play, but then there's always that mutual respect at the end of the day.
Sure.
And I think we certainly have that between the staffs of MUS and Christian Brothers. And, it should be an intense game like it always is. I mean, MUS, both teams are coming off bye weeks. Christian Brothers is coming off that very emotional and probably a really satisfying win against Briarcrest where they were down 7-0 late in the game. They didn't really do much offensively the entire game, and then they, scored 10 points late and kind of, steal that one from Briarcrest. And, the MUS train's just been rolling all year. They completed the Nashville sweep 2 weeks ago. They beat Father Ryan. They beat Ensworth this year. They beat Montgomery Bell Academy. It's the first time in over 10 years, probably close to 15 years, they've beaten all those schools in the regular season. And they're just, really, putting together a really tremendous season. Great defensive play from MUS. Hudson Schoaf just making plays all over the place. He had a key interception return in the game against Father Ryan 2 weeks ago. He had a key blocked punt in the Ensworth game that led to an important touchdown. He's playing great. Brandon Nicholson, the Stanford commit, is playing great. Makai Shaw, he's having a terrific year. Brady Hughes at quarterback, he's doing well. So, lots of talent for MUS. It's going to be tough for Christian Brothers because I think they've really, and Eli, you can probably attest to this better than me, they've had trouble scoring this year. Yeah. And obviously, with that great MUS defense, it's going to be a challenge for them tonight. But, it's a rivalry game and anything can happen. Christian Brothers is going to be sky high for this one, so I expect a good game for sure.
Yeah, look at the games. White Station, they only scored 10. Briarcrest scored 10. Brentwood, they scored 7. Now the other games where they've played mismatches, they put up a bunch of points. Their play of the year is the Philly special because they won the White Station game on the touchdown, and then they got in the field goal position in the Briarcrest game using the Philly special. So they may just want to keep running Philly specials until somebody stops it.
The only thing that's disappointing is that tonight the Tigers, as you know, play Tulane, and so that's one game where the fans, obviously the players, coaches, can't be at that Memphis game to support the hometown team because they'll be busy trying to beat each other up in one of the great rivalries there is in high school football. Also, Lausanne and Munford. We had Munford's coach on yesterday.
Coach Calhoun.
Coach Calhoun, who will be one of the coaches.
Strong beard game this year with the.
Oh, are you kidding me? There's ZZ Top. Yes. Cedric Miller.
Coach Miller, too.
Instead of overtime, we're going to do a beard off. If it's tied at regulation, it's a beard off to decide it.
I mean, incredible, isn't it?
Well, look, I think they should, do the stakes like professional wrestling.
Oh, the loser has to shave
it? Loser gets his beard shaved right there at the 50-yard line.
So if that loser goes home, loser gets the beard shaved off.
Well, might as well, right?
Right. So Coach Calhoun was on yesterday, and he was delight to have on the show.
Yeah, great coach.
He talked about we've been good other than that Southwind game. But they get Lausanne tonight, and we know Lausanne how strong they are. What do you expect?
I expect a really good game. I mean, both of these teams are ranked in the Daily Memphian Dandy Dozen, Memphis's most trusted and authoritative high school football rankings.
Nice plug, buddy.
Well, thank you. No, and you're right. Both of these teams have only lost once. Munford had the struggle, the really bad game against Southwind in week 4. They lost 42-0, but that really looks like an aberration because they played well before that and they played really well after that. And then of course Lausanne only has the one loss as well. Their loss came to Bartlett in the second game of the season. Since then they've been rolling as well. I looked it up. Both of these teams, in the games since their loss, they're both averaging, right at 48, 49 points a game. So we could see a lot of offense tonight out at Munford. But no, I expect a really competitive game. And kudos to these programs for putting these games together, these non-region matchups that are, interesting and provide a lot of intrigue. And, it will provide a good test for both of these teams as they get ready for the playoffs because both of these teams will certainly be in the playoffs.
We talked about MUS Christian Brothers. That's half of the McDaniel coaching duo. The other half of the McDaniel coaching duo, FACS, they've got a big one tonight.
They do against Jackson Christian. If they can win this one, it will go a long way towards giving them a home playoff game, which is something that program hasn't had, in a long time. And in fact, with the victory they had last week against Westwood, they're 6-1, and that clinched their first winning season, period, since 2016. So they're assured of a winning season. But, obviously they want a lot more. And talking to Coach McDaniel after that Westwood game, they're not just satisfied to be 6-1, and they're not just satisfied to make the playoffs. He's trying to change the culture over there, and the old days at FACS where it's like, hey, okay, we'll win a few games, maybe we'll sneak in the playoffs. That's not good enough anymore. They're trying to set a new standard out there, and they have a young man out there named Brian Shields who has just been tremendous this year. He's averaging as a running back close to 15 yards per carry this late in the season. So that's extremely impressive. I expect, he'll be... I
think I'd give him the ball a lot.
I expect he'll be in some serious Mr. Football conversation in his classification when the committee meets here in a couple of weeks. He's got 25 touchdowns, which is the most in our area. So he's a tremendous threat, really fast kid and, really dangerous at that level.
Wow.
So he, huge weapon there. But yeah, that's a huge game with Jackson Christian, and and it would mean a lot to that program if they can find a way to pull this one out tonight.
Tough decision for Old Tom. I'm wondering what game Tom Senior's going to be at tonight.
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, and the McDaniel brothers are really good coaches. They're similar personalities, and they're doing good jobs at their respective programs, I think. But especially the job Coach McDaniel's doing, because I went out there and interviewed him during the course of the season, and he told me there were people that told him that, like, what are you doing taking over this program? It's a dead end program. It's not going to go anywhere. There's no history, no tradition. But he's building it up.
Make your own history, right?
Exactly, making your own.
We had a texter that asked for you to talk about Covington's performance last week.
Well, they scored a ton of points against a winless Jackson Liberty Tech team. So
not much else to say, is there?
Not much else to say.
Jackson Liberty Tech.
They did what they're supposed to do. I believe they scored 63 points in the first half, if I'm not mistaken, and they called off the Dogs. They won the game 70-12. So yeah, Covington's rolling and playing some really good football. And there's not much you can say about it other than they did what they were supposed to do.
Okay, so that score result is a perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about. So I texted John sometime last week for today's segment, and I said maybe you could do a little homework if you have some time to do it.
Actually, Greg texted me with demands on my free time, but I didn't mind because it was a fun and illuminating project.
Well,
so
I live vicariously through you as far as high school football is concerned, because back in the day when I was doing local television, I covered it an awful lot and knew everything that was going on. Now it's basically what you tell me or what you show me through Twitter. That's how I follow things. And other people that, of course, follow you, and I see the results on Friday nights, and I keep up with the standings and things of that nature. But I don't know the players, and I don't know even some of the coaches. But what I do know is that every time I look at a score, it's an absolute blowout. It just seems like every score is 70-12, 55-0. I mean, I can't tell you how many times. Last week I had looked up and I saw, I think, one game that was 7 points. So a one-score game. So I asked John if he could look up the games all this year so far that involve teams from the area. And how many of the games, what percentage of the games are single-score games when it's over with?
Well, I did that. So let me share what my methodology was right quick. So I broke it down into 3 categories. I did, like you said, Greg, a one-possession game. So I did 8 points or less because that's one possession with the touchdown and 2-point conversion. Then I broke it into a second category where between 9 and 20 points, because to me, a 24-14 game isn't necessarily a blowout. A 31-14 game isn't necessarily a blowout. There's factors involved in these games. And then so that was my second category. Then my third category was 20 points or more. And even with that, not all blowouts are created equal, because, for example, the Germantown Bartlett game last week, it ended up being 44-20.
Right.
But Bartlett was ahead, 13-10 at halftime.
For the record, I never said blowout. I said one-score game. So that's what I had you do. Okay, so what do you got?
So I'm using the word blowout.
Yeah.
So since with teams in our area, Memphis area teams that we cover, there have been 230 games played this year. 8 points or less, there have been 35 games, so 15.2%.
Exactly the percentage I said to you. I bet you it's no more than 15%, right?
15.2% have been 8 points or less. 9 to 20 points, we've had 29 games, 12.6%. And Greg, you were really spot on with this. In games this year where the margin has been 20 or more points, 166 games, 72.2%.
Oh my gosh!
And so that's interesting. But I don't know if it's an aberration. So I don't know if you would look at the scores in East Tennessee and if you would have a similar number.
Right.
I don't know if you run down all the scores from the Nashville area from week 8 to now, if you would see similar. I imagine it would be somewhat close. I don't know if it would be as wide of a margin. And I don't know if you looked at it in other states like Mississippi or Texas or California or whatever.
But just for us, do you have a conclusion of why?
Yeah, I mean it kind of plays to what I've been saying all along is there's just no middle class in Shelby County anymore. You've got some really, really good teams at the top. You've got quite a few teams, unfortunately, that aren't very good and aren't very competitive right now, and there's just not a whole lot in the middle. And I frankly don't know what we do to solve that. Some people have, floated the idea of, closing some of these schools and consolidating some of these programs. Therefore, you consolidate the player talent, you consolidate, some of the coaching talent. I don't know if that's an answer, and I don't know how that would affect things, from an educational standpoint. Obviously, there's a lot more to a high school than just sports, obviously.
Sure.
So I don't know, how that would work, but no, there's a big discrepancy, and you're right, Greg. When you go out there on a Friday night and 7 out of every 10 games is pretty much not going to be competitive for one reason or another, that's. I don't know I don't know how good that is for the overall product and the overall growth of the game. I really don't. And you were spot on. Last week there was only one game in our area that was within 8 points or less. I think it was the Hamilton Raleigh Egypt game that was 20-13. So that's one.
Thank you for doing all that homework.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It just stood out. Yeah,
it was an illuminating exercise, and I really think I'm going to check out the East Tennessee and the Middle Tennessee scores because AP has a broken down.
Love to know that. Yes,
East, Middle, and West. So that would be interesting just for my own research. But I don't know what you do other than maybe think about consolidating some of these programs and some of this talent and some of the coaching talent, because therefore you weed out the bad coaches and some of the lesser talent as well. But again, there's educational considerations and other things.
Sure.
So I don't know. I just don't know. And if anybody has suggestions, I'd love to hear it too.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because I know like Christian Brothers has trouble finding non-region games. They just do these bye games, which are complete mismatches. But their games, Christian Brothers this year has either been running clock in the second half or the game was decided in the final 10 seconds. They're two games where they had the final play of the game, one with 8 seconds to go. Other than that, they've been a running clock in the second half of every game they've had.
Yeah, and then there's also games on like the Southwind Munford game. That's 42-0 Southwind. Well, on paper that should be a great game. And it just things with high school kids, things just don't always play out like they're supposed to. But like you said, Eli, there are those games on the schedule where you just look at it and know it's kind of going to be an early night, and that's unfortunate.
This hour of our program is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. I go by there a lot for my Big Green Egg accessories because they're a platinum Big Green Egg dealer. One of them in the area. They've got all the different sizes of the Big Green Egg and all the accessories and all the supplies that you need. But they've got so much more there at East Memphis Ace Hardware, from their massive paint selection with the Benjamin Moore paints to anything you need for outdoors or whatever it might be. They've got you taken care of at East Memphis Ace Hardware. Good at the corner of Quince and White Station. You can go check them out. You've got some weekend projects to get done. It's going to be some nice weather to do that. Before you do it, you need to get those supplies. Head on over to East Memphis Ace Hardware.
All right, final segment, hour one, bonus. Varlos will get John's thoughts on the big game tonight in Memphis between the Tigers and Tulane. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
What do you get when you have a dream, a beer, and a business plan? Meddlesome Brewing. Meddlesome's classic ales and lagers capture the true Memphis spirit. Strong, tenacious, and unforgettable. Meddlesome captures true Memphis spirit as well with community events including Ska-toberfest, Saturday, October 14th, with plenty of bands and plenty of brews like Memphis Style and 201 Hoppler. Meddlesome Brewing on Trinity in Cordova, just east of Shelby Farms. On tap and can packages. Meddlesome Brewing. Never settle, always metal.
Looking for your next car? Give Car Corner a try. Car Corner, located at 2653 Mount Moriah. They specialize in cars under $15,000. Bad credit? No problem at Car Corner. CarCornerMemphis.com. That's CarCornerMemphis.com. They even have cash cars under $7,000. That's Car Corner at 2653 Mount Moriah. CarCornerMemphis.com. Look for the building with the teal green roof.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 1717.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Choate's is offering some amazing specials for this month only. If you're considering upgrading your furnace before the cold weather comes, Choate's is offering $1,000 off a new Carrier furnace. If you don't need a new furnace, Choate's is now offering its early bird $60 furnace tune-up. This 22-point tune-up includes a free carbon monoxide test and heat exchanger inspection. And Choate's is your indoor air quality expert. For the best quality air for you and your family, it's recommended to have your air ducts cleaned every 8 years. This month only, Choate's will install a free UV light system when you get your air ducts cleaned, a $500 value. Call us at 347-8086 to take advantage of these amazing deals. So, turn to the experts with Choate's, and remember, let our family serve your family.
Start your day the right way at La Palapa with the biggest, baddest breakfast burrito around. Chorizo, cheese, rice, beans, and eggs served with fresh salsa, and it's served all day. La Palapa has daily lunch specials, all served with rice and beans, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Try a torta, breaded chicken, steak, chorizo, or ham served with mayo, avocado, lettuce, tomato, and jalapenos, all in a hoagie. Plus amazing soups and dinner entrees, all at La Palapa, 5255 Summer Avenue. La Palapa, the little hut with big taste.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
John Barlas with us, as he is every Friday from the Daily Memphian. Real quick, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Tigers game tonight. The Memphis 901 FC plays tonight in New Mexico. And if they at least tie, we know that they will host the first-round playoff match, right?
They have their destiny in their own hands after last week's really impressive performance against, who did they beat last week? I can't even remember.
El Paso.
El Paso, the locomotive from El Paso.
How I knew that?
Really impressive.
They have the destiny in their own hands. All they have to do is tie out.
Well, they're currently in fourth place. Top four get a home playoff spot. They have both of the tiebreakers over Louisville. If I think Louisville. I mean, it's mathematically possible for Louisville to get into the fourth spot, but highly unlikely because they would have to win their game by like 12 goals or something like that. So Memphis is in really good shape tonight.
And the playoffs would start when? The following Saturday?
Week. Yeah. Following
okay.
week. Yeah.
All right.
So it's nice to know that soccer does believe in tiebreakers at some point.
Yeah, exactly. I bring up 901 FC because that's one of John's assignments over the Daily Memphian. He covers them. He's also done a lot of work with Tigers football this season. And look, it's what you expected. You expected both teams to be in this position for this game. Tulane's lost to Ole Miss. That's understandable, especially with Michael Pratt not playing. And Memphis's loss was to Missouri by a touchdown, a one-score game, if you will, in St. Louis. What do you think tonight and the importance of this game tonight?
Well, I mean, clearly it's a very important game. I think in terms of, perhaps Ryan Silverfield's career, I think it may have a little bit more importance for him personally, because I think if he can get a victory tonight, it might, kind of quiet some of the anti-Silverfield crowd. I don't necessarily think if they lose tonight that, he's in trouble or anything like that, because I personally think he's the right man for the job. And if they lose, they'll be 4-2 with, losses to two really good teams and, still a lot to play for. But, just for, maybe just for some of the buzz around the program, some of the negative talk around Coach Silverfield, I think if he can get a victory tonight, it would be huge for him personally. And then it goes on to say, what it would mean for the team. You'd have an inside track at a conference championship, right, Greg?
Sure.
An inside track on hosting the conference championship. Even the
still be in the mix for the New Year's Six
is in
right?
play. So, and I think they've got a great chance. I really like what I've seen from Memphis this year. I I think the key is going to be to try to get some pressure on Pratt, and because I heard you talking with Brett and Bryant yesterday. Very good analysis too, by the
Thank
way.
you.
No, I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. I mean, I think it was a good analysis. Actually, I learned a lot about Tulane from listening to you. And Pratt's a very accurate quarterback, and I think if you can rattle him, put some heat on him, and I think Memphis's D line has played well this year, so I think they can get to Pratt and put some pressure on him. And if they can do that, I think it's an interesting make for an interesting game. I think if Memphis can hit a couple of big plays early, maybe with Blake Watson, or maybe in the passing game with Hennigan and maybe Rock Taylor or one of these other receivers, Skates, if they can hit a big play early, I think that might be key. So yeah, I mean, I like Memphis in this game. If you put a gun to my head and tell me to pick a winner, I'm going to pick Memphis because I think they've got a good team this year. I think they've played well this year for the most part, and the loss they had to Missouri, well, it's a 7-point loss to a really good team. So I'm bullish on this Memphis team. Playing at home is a huge advantage. I hope there's a really good crowd. I kind of, there's a part of me that hates that it has to be on a Friday night, even though it's a limited Friday night. But for schools like Memphis and Tulane, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, when you see these Big Ten games on a Friday night, for example, to me, there's
the networks have the power.
To me, there's no excuse for that. I mean, Michigan and Minnesota shouldn't be playing on a Friday night. Those programs don't need to do that. But I understand it from Memphis and Tulane's perspective. So hopefully there'll be a good crowd. But regardless, I'm excited for this Memphis team. I really am.
All right, John, great stuff as always. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Thank you, guys.
He is John Varlos. Make sure to read all his great stories and all his prep coverage at the Daily Memphian. Follow him on Twitter at John Varlos. Catch him every Friday here on Sports 56 Mornings. That's 1 hour in the books, 2 hours to go before we can get our weekend started. Coming up in hour number 2, Laird Veach will join us at 8:25, but we will begin the segment with an open segment. Love to hear from you on the Memphis-Tulane game, your thoughts, and on all things from the world of sports, including the Grizzlies, including the NFL, and obviously a lot of college football. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The 4-1 Memphis football team is home Friday, October 13th at 6 o'clock for a huge conference matchup against Tulane for first place in the conference. It's wrestling night. Enjoy the matches on Tiger Lane and meet and greet with the wrestlers inside the stadium. Tickets start at just $20 to watch this big-time conference matchup. Be at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium Friday, October 13th at 6 o'clock. Purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGoTix.com.
We interrupt this broadcast for special news and information concerning family leisure.
The world's biggest spa sale is back and bigger than ever at Family Leisure. How is that possible? Well, let me tell you. You start off with 50 different spa models to choose from 5 different manufacturers. Then you throw in up to 30% off in-stock spas and swim spas. But is that all? Oh, no. You get free upgrades on all in-stock spas, plus 24 months, same as cash. Wow! This is the kind of sale that you just can't have every day. But it's happening right now at Family Leisure, the world's biggest spa sale. Soak in the savings right now at Family Leisure, Witten Road and I-40. You know the place where family and fun come together.
Please remain calm and walk. Don't run to Family Leisure. And now back to your regular programming.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Go where the season takes you, and it'll take you to huge savings at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Be packed with power in 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. 37 MPG combined, $18,755 or $199 a month. Ready for adventure? 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $25,595 or $299 a month. Plus 7 seating and top safety pick 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SUV, $32,185 or $399 a month. And every new Gossett Mitsubishi is equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months, 500 military rebate, loyalty, conquest rebate, 500 G4, RHFO 1918, MSRP 19255, Sport, PU 015 MSRP 26595, Outlander RZ 006545, MSRP 33185, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show, right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Starting to get heavy over here now on 40 westbound with a little bit of volume from Germantown Parkway all the way up to Whitten Road. It's decent right now as you come up from the south on 55 northbound up through South Haven. That's been in pretty good shape all morning long. Still a little bit light to moderate on 385 Billmores Parkway coming in from Collierville. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, they're back open better than ever. Located 7525 Highway 64. Go see them this weekend at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday the 13th to you and yours. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently, 66 degrees, cloudy skies. We're looking at a mixture of clouds and sunshine today with a slight chance of a rain shower, but it should be absolutely terrific for the football game tonight over at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. We're looking at a high today of 81 and a low tonight overnight at 56 degrees. Second hour of the program is brought to you each and every day by our friends at James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick. On the web at GaddisJewelers.com. They've been a part of the fabric of this city for years and years and years. So many repeat buyers that go back to James Gaddis Jewelers because they're so satisfied with the jewelry that they had purchased the first time around. And each Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know MUS and Christian Brothers High School, who play tonight at Hull Dobbs on the campus of MUS, is the oldest football rivalry in Memphis and the 15th oldest in the country. It started back in 1894. Did you call that game?
That was before my time.
Okay, 1894 at Citizens Park. Not Citizens Bank Park where the Phillies play, but Citizens Park. MUS leads the all-time series, 33, 27, and 3 ties. And John Varlas just told us on his way out that in 1900, the game was stopped because of a brawl.
Yeah, there was a big brawl, and then they didn't play for like, I don't know, 40, 50 years after. Like they stopped the series because of the brawl.
Wow, they stopped for that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was. If John Ganazzo knows all these stuff, and I've got it. I've got a book that explains all of it, but I don't have that here with me. It's at home. But yeah, John Ganazzo knows all about all that stuff. But yeah, it's they took a long break in the series. That's why it goes back to 1894, but they've only played 60 games or whatever it is.
Yeah, 63 games. The brawl of 1900. Who would have thought that would stop for that many years, that series? But that series is going strong now. And again, tonight they'll play over at MUS. James Gaddis Jewelers, your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. Couple of headlines in case you're just tuning in from last night. NFL week number 6 began with Kansas City beating Denver 19-8 in Kansas City. And yes, Taylor Swift was there. Chiefs now 5-1. Broncos now 1-5. Harrison Butker had 4 field goals. If you like field goals, you love that one. Russell Wilson, who has not been as bad as he was last year, still, last night, 13 of 22 for 95 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Denver could hardly get the ball past midfield. Meanwhile,
they're a disaster.
And I want to get to that disaster in a second. Patrick Mahomes, 30 of 40, 306 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He's never lost to Denver. All right, how is it possible that Denver, under Hackett last year, Nathaniel Hackett, were better than they have been so far under Sean Payton this year? How's it even possible? I thought Payton was coming in. He came in fiery, did he not? I mean, he was saying all the right things. They're going to clean up this mess. They are worse than they were last year. And they were bad last year.
Well, maybe it wasn't all on Hackett.
Exactly.
Maybe the players just aren't good. And maybe Russell Wilson is done, like I said before last year when they gave him the terrible contract. He's just not, Russell Wilson isn't close to what Russell Wilson was.
And now it's a fire sale, right? They're trying to dump Frank Clark. They've already gotten rid of Randy Gregory. Yeah, it wasn't for years when John Elway was running the show. He was criticized a lot. He's not with them anymore. He's not with this new ownership group, right?
I don't know who's doing their player personnel now. I don't even know.
I could be wrong.
GM is.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't think you have Elway to blame. And Elway had some good seasons, obviously, had some good years with Denver. This is an absolute train wreck, The Grizzlies last night, preseason game number 3. They lost to the Hawks 103-102. That's their first loss in the preseason for what that's worth. Their next game will be Sunday at the Miami Heat. They did not play Derrick Rose, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane. They did not play Jake LaRavia. They did not play John Conchar. They did not play Luke Kennard. Marcus Smart still hasn't played yet, and yet they still nearly won the game. Major League Baseball playoffs, National League Divisional Series, the Philadelphia Phillies over the Atlanta Braves 3-1. Sorry for all you Braves fans out there. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. You should be just so upset right now with a team that set almost all offensive records and the pitchers that they had to flame out the way they did. Yet, I don't hate the Braves. I hate the Astros.
So you're telling their fans they should be just distraught, but yet you're not sorry. That's nice of you.
No, I'm not sorry that they lost because it's my team, the Phillies, that they lost to. So obviously I'm very happy that the Phillies won. I'm just saying with the Braves fans, you started to get a little bit boisterous. You're not Phillies fans. Relax. Okay, do your chop. Stick with your chop. Don't throw things on the field. We own that. That's us.
Thank God for them. They're not Phillies fans.
My God, the Phillies fans were so good. They were so good. And now the Phillies will move on in the NL Championship Series. They'll take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Meanwhile, the American League Championship Series is all set with the All-Texas affair, the Astros and the Texas Rangers. The Astros, unbelievably, in the American League Championship Series for the 7th straight year. Now, that's a team I despise. And from college football last night, a crazy finish. Houston over West Virginia, 41-39 on a Hail Mary that was answered to end the game to give the Cougars the win, and maybe, just maybe, the game that saves Dana Holgerson's job. And in the American Conference, SMU all over East Carolina, 31-10. But tonight, it's all about the Memphis Tigers and the Tulane Green Wave. We have had Ryan Silverfield on this week. We've had the Tigers football report. We had Corey Glore, the voice of Tulane. We have broken it down every which way but loose. Now it's just a matter of playing the football game. But we would not mind having your final thoughts as you get ready for the game, whether you'll be at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium or whether you'll watch it nationally televised on ESPN. If you want to give us your thoughts on the game, you can call in or text in during this open segment, 901-360-8255. That's 360-8255, or send us your thoughts on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or on the website, sportsmemphis.com.
And at least the end of the game, I would expect to have very good ratings.
Why the end of the game?
Because they are the lead-in for Colorado.
That's right.
Colorado-Stanford play the game right after on ESPN, so I would assume, since Colorado is ratings gold, that at least the end of the Memphis game will be getting very good ratings this evening on ESPN.
Yeah, the game that Coach Prime is not happy with the start time, which makes no sense because you're going to have some of those late starts when you play in your new conference. It's going to happen.
We'll have less than the new conference.
Right, but you're still going to have – you could play Arizona. You could play Arizona State. I mean, you could play teams out west. Obviously, you're out west, but you're not going to play just teams right there in the central portion of the country. So there are opportunities there. But, you know –
they played a game at 10 a.m. this year. They kicked at 10 a.m. in week 2 at home. So I would much rather be kicking off at – what's that? That would be 8 p.m. local, I guess. Rather have it at 8 p.m. than to 10 a.m.
I wonder what players would rather do. Would they rather be sitting around all day long waiting for that game, that anticipation, especially the road teams in the hotel, or would they rather just get up early, have some breakfast, go through the final meetings, and then head on over to the ballpark and play the game?
I know what I would rather have if I was a player. I'd rather play the early game so I could be done with it and have fun.
So you would? Okay. Yeah, for your reasons. But I thought you were going to say the other thing. I thought you were going to say, because it seemed like you were leaning toward you'd rather play at night so you'd had some maybe more time to sleep in the morning.
No, if I was a coach, I would not want the early game, and I would say most players probably don't want the early game.
But if you were a player,
but if I was a player, I mean, first of all, I would just be sitting on the bench, I wouldn't actually be playing. So I would just rather have the game over with by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I got the rest of my Saturday to go enjoy myself.
So you're thinking about the party afterwards.
At 8 o'clock at night, I got to. Now, granted, this is a Friday night, so I guess I don't know if they give what they have to do on Saturday after a Friday night game. Maybe if they get Saturday off, then I mean, obviously, this one wasn't going to be played early. Friday, you're going to play the night game no matter what. And I mean, the other option tonight would be a 5 o'clock local time. Nobody would want that, I wouldn't think.
No, but even Coach Prime has to, I mean, he's a very intelligent guy. He's a very suave guy. He has to understand that the networks control everything, and they need teams and games for their time slots. Maybe he thinks his team's too good for that time slot. I don't understand. But you're going to play all different times, all different days of the week. It is what it is. That's why you have the group of fives, the MAC action, right? Fun Belt, Conference USA, American. You have a lot of games that you'll see on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and obviously Friday, because it is what it is. They need programming, and that's part of the deals that they sign, and that's why they're making the money that they are making from those broadcast partners. But tonight, again, it's rough in some degree because it's a Friday night and there is some high school football, but there's not a lot of high school football, so that's the good thing. The city teams aren't playing, so hopefully those players and their coaches, and maybe they get together as a team and they purchase tickets, maybe discounted tickets to come to the game. The sales are going pretty well. I expect there to be probably about 35,000 for the game. That's what I think. Again, the weather looks to be great. It is a Friday, so people don't have to worry about work the next day or school the next day. You are going up against a little bit of high school football, but not that much. But we know the importance of this game, and to have that fan support is going to be awesome. You think about this series, Memphis, for whatever reason, and maybe it is because of the home crowd. Maybe it's just because they're more comfortable at home, obviously, than being on the road. But they've won 8 straight at home against Tulane. They haven't lost to Tulane since last century at home. They are 15-2 overall versus Tulane at home. Teams are different. Every year, the makeup of the team is different. So there's got to be some factor that is consistent. And it's not like they're great against every team at home on a consistent basis. It's just one of those things. We had our meetings with Coach Silverfield, and, things I can say and things I can't say. I could certainly say this. He said, I don't know what it is, but we seem to struggle when we go to Tulsa, when we go to Temple, even in New Orleans. Last year, they were down 35-0 in the blink of an eye. But he said, for some reason, we play extremely well at home against Tulane. I don't know if that will continue tonight, but I like the chances that it will. But it's not because of the powers of football gods. It's just for whatever reason they get up for Tulane. They feel really good about playing them at home.
They've only lost, like 4 home games total under Silverfield, I think it is.
No, and that's another thing. Yeah, the home field advantage.
Just generally teams play better at home.
They do, and they've done their fair share of damage against SEC schools, in particular Ole Miss at home. They've done well. But tonight, it's a different beast. It's a different team. It's a team so far that I think has stepped up pretty well. They've had a lot of good moments. They've had at times struggles. I think they've really done well in changing directions on certain things. If it's not going the way they had game planned for, they are able to make adjustments and do the old switcheroo and come out on top. The slow starts, though, are mind-boggling, and I know they are to coach and the staff, how they continue to get off the slow starts because they're fired up, they're ready to go, they run out of that locker room in front of that home crowd, and then boom, they're down 17-0 to Boise, or they're down to Navy. You really can't afford to get down to Tulane. Again, last year you made the comeback, you still lost by 10. You still lost the game. You get behind like that this year, it's Katie bar the door. Lights out.
Drew texts in, says, I don't feel good about this one. I'm worried about the Tigers' ability to run the ball.
Yeah.
I would. I agree with you, Drew. It's going to be. The defensive front for Tulane is good, really good. I just wonder about I wonder about the Tigers' ability to run the ball, and if you can't run the ball, then I worry about their ability to protect Seth Hennigan when it gets into the throwing situations.
Yes. Look, a lot of times you look at a football game and you go, well, whoever wins the trenches is going to win the war. Doesn't necessarily always mean that. I don't know how they win in the trenches overall for 60 minutes against Tulane. They're going to give it their damnedest. They're going to do the best they can. But I think it's going to take some special teams plays, some big offensive plays on misdirection or some reverses or things of that nature to get to the outside, to use your athleticism, to try to get to the edge and cut it up. I don't think you could just go between the tackles, even with Blake Watson as good as he is, and expect to be able to pound the football against this Tulane team. So therefore, again, I think it's going to take a little bit more than just saying, hey, let's go mano-a-mano against these guys. We'll physically beat them and we'll win the game, because I think it's going to be hard to physically beat them.
By the way, on a side note on that Colorado-Stanford game tonight,
Mm-hmm.
11.5 points just does not seem like enough. At Colorado, I'm surprised that line's not bigger.
Colorado is an 11.5-point favorite?
Yes. Seems like it should be more than that.
Is Hunter back for this game?
Deion said there's a what was this quote? He said he's got a very good chance of playing. I think it was something like that. A good chance, some sort of good chance of playing. I don't know if that means he absolutely will, and if he does, how much he'll play on either side of the ball. I don't know, but Deion earlier in the week, I think, called it a good chance at playing, or a very good chance at playing this week.
All right, when we come back, Laird Veach will join us, the Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics at the University of Memphis. When you're tailgating tonight, whether it be at the Tigers game, any of the high school football games, or maybe a get-together watching college football on Saturday, NFL on Sunday, anytime is a good time for Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Was there yesterday with a buddy at the East Memphis location. Absolutely tremendous. I always tell you about those rolls they bring you. It's almost a meal in and of itself. The rolls are outstanding with a little of that butter on it. Man, oh man, they're good. And I'll tell you what, it was so nice walking in there. The employees, so welcoming, just really, really nice people. That I ran into yesterday over at Corky. So you can dine in like I did. You can carry out, right? Call and pick up your delivery, drive through, no contact. So you don't have to worry about that. You can have any of the services delivered to your home or office. And they will cater any event you got coming up. Again, you got a big tailgating event, have Corky's cater. You can go over and get a third of a rack of ribs for just $6.99 when you purchase a entree, barbecue sandwich, pulled pork plate, maybe the award-winning catfish plate. Again, $6.99. After you get the entree for a third of a rack of ribs. Party pack starting at just $7.49. Lunch specials every single day. Again, I was at the Poplar Avenue Memphis location. They have a location in Collierville, also on Poplar Avenue, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Ask about their private party room. You can reserve your time now by giving them a call at either the Cordova or the Olive Branch locations. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Pizza lovers and sports fanatics, Ferraro's Pizzeria is your Sunday ticket headquarters. Catch every pro game on multiple big screen TVs while enjoying $2 beers, $9 beer buckets, and mouth-watering pizza. We're talking the cheesiest, most delicious New York pizzas in town with all your favorite toppings. What are you waiting for? Grab your family and friends and get to Ferraro's, corner of Jackson and Main, just east of the Pyramid. Enjoy every pro game at Ferraro's Pizzeria and Cheesy Corner, your game day destination.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new fall arrivals from TaylorMade, Callaway, and Titleist. Come by and test drive the new TaylorMade P790 irons, the new Callaway Apex Pro iron sets, and the new Titleist T-Series irons. While you're there, get a free custom fitting on the new arrivals and more. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is your headquarters for all the latest golf gear from all the top manufacturers. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at edwinwattsgolf.com.
Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing. This family business started up 5 years ago with just one pallet, and now they have hundreds. Tim, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood flooring, carpet, tile, and vinyl. Jenkins Floors and More helps with renovations, home building, and installation. Jenkins Floors and More, number 6 East Commerce Street in Hernando. Also in Little Rock and coming soon to Tennessee. Call 662-469-9350 for more information.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
When the weather gets better, I found a new place to really soak it in. It's the patio at the Commissary in Collierville. We all love the delicious Memphis-style barbecues. You can begin your barbecue fest with some great appetizers like the cheese plate or the tamales or the barbecue nachos. Oh, those smoked chicken wings, they're terrific too. Then dig into the ribs or the barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled on a sandwich. A big sandwich, or you can get it on a plate. You've got choice. And you've got choice in places. Don't forget the Germantown Commissary as well. Comes with beans and slaw, deviled eggs they're famous for. And Brad, you can even order by the pound, a 6-pack or an 8-pack or even a 12-pack. The Boss Man salad, the chicken plate, the barbecue shrimp. There's something for everybody, and those great desserts. The best icebox lemon pie anywhere. Or my favorite, the banana pudding. Check out the patio, TVs for sports, and music on the weekends. You love the Commissary.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE 678-6055, MSRP 21,610, Nero P501-7859, MSRP 41,090, EV6 P501-7859, MSRP 49,687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, the weather's getting cooler, but the deals keep on getting hotter at Gossett Kia South. What you got going on, Jeff?
Only the best deals you'll find on your new Kia, Randy. I've got 41 MPG highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $27.99 due at signing. I've got EV action with a 2023 Nero EV Win SUV, 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 due at signing. And a 2023 Kia EV6 Win, 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's actually just now starting to pick up with a little bit of volume on 385 Bill Morris Parkway as you come past Kirby, as that traffic starts to pick up just a bit out of Collierville. Still looks good right now coming up through Midtown. That's what we're checking out live over here on 240 up by Lamar. I-40 still positive right now across the bridge over from West Memphis. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, they're back open better than ever. 7525 Highway 64. Go by and see them this weekend at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
It's game day in Memphis. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Friday the 13th to you. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. The world's biggest spa sale continues at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. It's the Tigers, it's the Green Wave of Tulane as they clash tonight at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, and we are very pleased to be joined at this time by the Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics at the University of Memphis. He's Laird Veach, who you can follow on Twitter at Laird Veach. Laird, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Good, Greg. How are you?
Man, I'm fantastic. I know you're fired up. I hope everybody around the area is fired up. And I guess the first question to ask you is, as it looks like it's going to be beautiful weather, we know the importance of this game, how have the ticket sales gone so far?
Really good. We've had a lot of energy here over the last week. We are predicting our biggest crowd in quite some time. Of course, that all depends on Tiger fans and the folks in Memphis, coming out and showing up. But feel really good about the energy and what everybody's looking forward to. These kind of games just don't come along that often, right? Where you have these kind of implications, national stage, playing the Cotton Bowl champions from last year. So many implications for this year. It's a really big, important game, and we're making it as fun and accessible as possible for our fans.
What are your feelings on Friday, playing the Friday night games?
I think I like many folks struggled with that when they first started coming out many years ago, just because I'm a high school football fan as well, and the traditional nature of that. But they happen so few in terms of each individual town, city, etc. Maybe once a year. It is a chance to get on national stage. It is nice that this year for us, many of our public schools at least are on fall break, so we're not interrupting near as many as we normally would. That was fortunate. And just anytime you have a chance to put our brand, our university, our city on a national stage like that, it's important. It's a big benefit that we bring to this university and this city.
You guys have done an awful lot of good things that correlate with the game itself on game day, the game day activities, things, again, that correlate, as I mentioned, with the actual game itself. And today, it's going to be all about the wrestling. We saw that last year. It was a hit, as you know, Laird. So you guys have brought it back for another year, starting at 4:30. There's going to be some professional wrestling going on. It's just something that has been a part of this city for so long. I don't know if you knew the history of wrestling when you got the job here, Laird, that you knew you were coming into a place that really relishes that. But here it is again, and I'm sure it's going to be big today.
Yeah, I did not recognize the history of wrestling in Memphis until I moved here. But there is nothing more Memphis than wrestling night. Like you said, 4:30, Tiger Lane by the fountain. We have a lot of other things going on as well. We've bought out the Toby Park parking lot, so that can be available to fans for free until they fill. We've got a dinner special going, hot dog, soda, and chips or a cookie for $8. Jersey koozie giveaway. There's just, we are pulling out every trick in the bag we can pull
Yes.
out to really encourage our people to come and making it as accessible as possible from a cost standpoint. You get $20, we'll get you a ticket, get you in, and you can eat dinner cheap and have great entertainment doing it. Wrestling and football and national TV and all of the above.
So are you wrestling Lawler?
Many years ago, I probably would have had the testosterone levels to at least attempt that, but it would have been stupid. So I've gotten to the point now where I think my wisdom hopefully outshines my ego. So no, I will definitely not be putting myself through something
You'd
like that.
been swinging a folding chair back in the day. You'd have been all about that stuff. going through tables and all the works.
Laird in tights.
Yeah.
Laird in tights. I don't know about that. Laird Veach.
No, it would not be pretty.
Laird Veach joining us. He's the Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics at the University of Memphis. I haven't asked him. I haven't texted him. I haven't spoken to him. I would guess this is the type of game that the commissioner may show up.
He is not going to be. I actually talked to him yesterday for a while about a couple things. He's not going to be here for this one. And it really came down to he actually apologized because he wanted to be here, recognize how big a game it is. But he's doing everything he can to get around to at least visiting all the new members this year too. It felt like that was important. It's about the only way he could make the full schedule work. So he won't be here, but first things is best.
So obviously the big question out there outside of this game continues to be the whole stadium situation. The city council officially accepting the $350 million from the state the other day. Has there been progress made over the recent weeks? Are we getting closer and closer to a resolution where you feel good about everything and getting started on time?
I would say that that's a question you got to ask the mayor, the city folks, and I do recognize obviously we're now in a state of transition as city leadership. There has been, I know, a lot of ongoing conversation, but that's a ball that's ultimately in their court. Our job is just to encourage, keep the planning going, and I will say from a design construction standpoint, all that continues to go well. We got to find a way to push go and get this thing rolling. So, that's our focus is try to, just keep the focus on that. And as I explained to a few folks yesterday, the reason we have so much urgency, it is, obviously it's a financial piece from a construction standpoint. But a delay in even a month or two could mean that we delay it even further beyond not be able to get done for the 25 season, which means you have another season that is a partial stadium, which is obviously not good for fans but financially for us and for partners, right? Liberty Bowl, other partners, Liberty Bowl, the Classic, and the folks that use that venue. Or it means even a full year delay, right? So, and then there's even further implications for that. So it's a complex thing. We recognize the challenge that's there. But as we've said, since, the president and I really came out and we're strong with this, that, we are not presenting this as an either or scenario. We feel like it needs to be both. If we want to be a city that is proud of and capable of supporting an NBA franchise and major conference programs, that's the kind of investments we need to be able to make. We need to make both work and keep this moving forward. I know that's easier said than done. There's challenges there, but we got to find a way collectively to roll up our sleeves, everybody do their part and make it happen.
Yeah, I saw the quote, and you just mentioned it again, that you said about possibly the delay costing the University of Memphis years of revenue. Have you had conversations with the construction people, the people that are going to be doing the renovation, and have they given you a time frame? Well, if you can't start January whatever and you don't start until May, then we're definitely going to be delayed. Or if it's 1 month, that would not delay the project. Do you have a time period in mind through the construction people?
We do not, and certainly we're hoping not to have to get there. Right. Our focus is to keep it moving forward, and that's what we're looking forward to. And hopefully we don't have to have those discussions, but that could be a possibility if we're not able to push go in time.
Are you dealing now with both the mayor and the mayor-elect?
We're starting to have conversations just with introductions, right? With the mayor-elect Paul Young, and he's actually going to be at our game tonight. He's going to be doing the honorary coin toss, which will be exciting, and it'll be able to spend time with him. And obviously, he's got a lot to sort of get his head around, and this isn't the only thing. So, there's a transition period, and we'll continue to work with Mayor Strickland and his team, as well as introductions of the process to to get to know Paul Young and make sure he understands everything, but recognize he's got a lot on his plate. So our hope is we can get this moved forward, before that has to happen. But we understand, there's a transition process there.
So going back, you kind of hit it. So if it came down to it and the project was delayed and it was to a point where it wasn't going to be able to be done by that 25 season, is there a possibility you would just push the whole thing back an entire year and not even start it till after next season?
We would have to explore a lot of possibilities, I think, at that point. Again, we're hopeful we don't have to, but all those kind of factors would have to get on the table. All those options would have to get on the table and understand all the impacts. And, obviously, ultimately, that's a city decision because it's their venue. But we would have significant concerns with, having another season that would be partial stadium, and the impacts of that are, they're really significant. Multi-million dollars from a financial standpoint.
Sure.
But it's also, just think about another season for the fans, and obviously attendance is down for us for all the other games that are there, and that has an economic impact on the city. And there's a ripple effect that is really significant.
Laird Veach joining us, Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics at the University of Memphis. You can follow him on Twitter at Laird Veach. We're in the midst of a football season that's extremely important, but before too long, they'll be rolling out the basketball for the basketball seasons. And it looks like Penny and company, along with your help, obviously, have put together a very challenging schedule. The expectations are high in this new reconfigured league, but I think fans will be excited. A lot of games that will be played non-conference-wise against big-time opponents are on the road, but you got some big home games that will be coming up, and it looks like that will continue to be the philosophy of scheduling in the future for Penny Hardaway. So I'm sure that has a lot of fans excited. Are we seeing that in box office sales as far as season tickets are concerned?
Yeah, and particularly in recent weeks, that's really picked up as well. A lot of excitement, anticipation around men's basketball. You look, obviously, we're coming off a conference tournament championship. We've back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances. We got Vanderbilt, Clemson, Virginia at home, as well as Final Four participant FAU. So there's a lot of reasons why people are going to want to come out and see what Penny has done. Well, once again, has put together an incredibly talented roster, and I just really appreciate he's willing to play anybody and everybody wherever that is, and that leads to exciting contests for our fans. And we're making we're really trying to, as you hopefully have all seen, to really be creative and think outside the box, meet fans where they are. And we have, of course, the traditional season ticket, but now we've created this dynamic pass where a fan can get for only $149. You basically get a seat for every game. Now it's going to be at a different location. Some of those will be in the lower bowl for some games. You get moved around, but you can come to every game for $149. So you got a 3-game pack for $39, where you get a conference game or two conference games, 1 non-conference game. So we know flexibility is the key now. We're trying to do that as well, and we'll continue to be aggressive in that area also.
In the overall landscape of everywhere in college sports, is that the way a lot of schools are going, is more of those smaller packs because people just don't have the time maybe to go to every single game, so get that where they can get 3 or 5 games? Is that kind of the trend you're seeing all over in college sports?
Yeah, I mean, it's a trend you've seen in professional sports and in other leagues for several years now. I think you're starting to see it more and more at the college level. Of course, it depends on your team, your program, where you're at. There's places that are blue blood programs that are in a small college town that are still just back in the house the old traditional way. There's some that really have to just drop the price dramatically to get the only kind of tickets. We are in a bigger market, and we have incredibly strong and powerful brands, powerful programs that have a lot of value. So we kind of got to find a way to thread that needle in between, and so therefore you come up with concepts like this. But it's probably a long answer to your question of yes, you're seeing it more and more, but it depends on the place and the different scenarios and situations you have, and you got to be able to assess that, understand your market, understand your brand, your value, and determine the best way to go about it.
And then for tonight, Laird, for folks who haven't purchased their tickets yet, but they want to go to the game, maybe a last-second decision, would it be better for them to just purchase it at the box office at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium as opposed to going through Go Tigers Go? I'm not sure with everything electronic anymore. It's pretty quick probably either way.
It's quick either way. We're actually encouraging everybody to download our app because it genuinely is the easiest way to buy tickets, to continue to buy tickets. You download the app, you can just buy the tickets directly there. Then the tickets are really easy to download right into your phone, and then you're going up. You can avoid the line at the box office and just go right up to the to the gates to enter. So that's what I would encourage folks to do. Obviously you can go to GoTigersGo.com and go to our tickets and buy them there. Or if you prefer to do it the old-fashioned way, you can go to the box office as well. So we'll meet you wherever
whatever it takes
best for you.
Whatever it takes. on a corner somewhere, Laird will meet you, and you can purchase the tickets from him. The big old trench coat on and everything. No, it's easy. It's easy to get these tickets, and I suggest you do, folks, because again, everything's in position tonight to be an outstanding night. The weather looks to be great. You got two really good teams going at it for first in the American Conference, both at 4-1, and wrestling night to top things off beginning at 4:30 with matches right there around the fountain there on Tiger Lane. It's going to be a spectacular night. Laird, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you tonight. He's the Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics at the University of Memphis. He's Laird Veach, who you can follow on Twitter at Laird Veach. Thank you, Laird.
Thank you, guys. Huge game. See everybody tonight. Thank you.
See you tonight. Take care.
What if they consider wrestling in the fountain?
Somebody may be thrown in the fountain. Who knows?
That would make it a little more exciting.
Yeah.
If they wrestled in the fountain.
They may not start in the fountain, but they may end up in the fountain. So that may happen.
See, last year they did it further out.
They did. It was,
but this year they're moving it
down,
up there.
Yeah,
up there.
Tiger Lane.
That's good.
Yeah, I think so. The old fountain match, no holds barred. Don't want to ruin the fountain though. It's a beautiful fountain.
It is a nice fountain. One of the nicest fountains I've ever seen.
It's second to the Friends fountain on the opening of Friends.
No, the finest fountain in the world.
Isn't that Chicago?
Is the one Married with Children.
That's Chicago.
Yeah.
What's the one on Friends? Were they set in Chicago?
No, that's New York.
I didn't watch the show. I know the show. I know they open. I know the song. I know the actors.
Trying to think of, there is a fountain in that. No,
they're all playing in
Buckingham Fountain is
that's beautiful.
That's the finest fountain in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. Now, no, wait. I can argue with that. But when I went to Chicago and I've been to Chicago now a few times, and we took the tour, seeing that fountain, that was fabulous. It really was. But then there's the one in Rome. Where you throw the coin over your shoulder, the good luck thing. Forget its name, but that's a fountain. The Europeans, I think, have a stranglehold on the best fountains. It's a good one in Chicago, really good one. I give you that. But around Europe, pretty good fountains.
Unless it's some naked Greek guy peeing it out. That's the only way the fountain can get better.
Most of them are. They're not Greek, they're the Romans, but yes, most of them are.
But the Buckingham Fountain is better than that. I don't need to see no...
You want to see Zeus
naked,
peeing out the water?
I don't need to see no naked concrete man peeing water out there. I'd much rather see Buckingham Fountain. Folks, moving can be stressful, but Black Tie Moving has the professionals, the experts to help you and make sure you take as much of the stress and worry out of the process as you possibly can. Going to make sure that your belongings, your things get where they're going without any issues, without any problems. They're going to make sure that you are always kept up to date with what's going on. You get a moving concierge available 24/7. So any questions that come up during the process, you've got somebody there to answer those questions. You call them, they'll work with you, coming up with a plan, fitting both your needs and your budget, which is very important on both ends. And you'll get a no obligation quote up front, so you know exactly what it's going to be before you agree to anything. 901-316-6196 is the number, 901-316-6196, or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get that personal, no obligation quote from the moving professionals at Black Tie Moving.
Still to come, Brandon Lang will join us at 9:05. He'll handicap the NFL and college football landscape. Then we'll have 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. But when we come back, a little bit more on the situation with the stadiums.
Fountains? Oh.
No, not on fountains.
What if they ever thought of Tiger Lane to have maybe a giant tiger peeing on that fountain? That's part of that fountain.
They've probably given it a thought. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit more about what Laird had to say and the situation we are in the city, and also something else that came out yesterday that involves entertainment, let's just say, in the city of Memphis. We'll do that when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The 4-1 Memphis football team is home Friday, October 13th at 6 o'clock for a huge conference matchup against Tulane for first place in the conference. It's wrestling night. Enjoy the matches on Tiger Lane and meet and greet with the wrestlers inside the stadium. Tickets start at just $20 to watch this big-time conference matchup. Be at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium Friday, October 13th at 6 o'clock. Purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGoTix.com.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Join us for the Memphis Police Department Hiring Expo Saturday, October 21st, 2023 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 170 North Main Street downtown. We'll be taking applications and interviewing candidates on site. Salary starting at $54,611, increasing to $60,713 after probation. Benefits include a $15,000 sign-on bonus, up to $10,000 relocation assistance. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
Hey, Mid-South, you looking for a new ride that'll save you some big bucks? We got it at Gossett Kia on the Pike. A new ride that boosts 41 mpg highway and 2023 Kia Forte LXS. $229 a month, $29.99 to its signing. How about 2023 Nero EV Wind SUV? 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 to its signing. And 2023 Kia EV6 Wind. Get up to 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 to its signing. Plus a free charger with your EV purchase. All 36-month leases and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE 678 6055, MSRP 21610, Nero P501 7859, MSRP 41090, EV6 P501 7859, MSRP 49687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I've made no bones about it as far as the stadium issue. I know the importance of the Grizzlies. I'm not stupid. We could ill afford to lose the Grizzlies. We have to do everything to make sure that they're happy, and I completely understand that. But I think the University of Memphis is extremely important too. And I hate the fact, because you can hear it in the voice of Laird Beach, they are frustrated. And I hate red tape, and I hate things lingering. And now you have the change of the administration. This is ridiculous. The state, they asked for $350. Jim Strickland, mayor, current mayor, about to be replaced by Mayor Paul Young. They asked, they got that money. Now things have been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed because the Grizzlies haven't figured out what they're going to do, which obviously, again, most important entity, but not the only entity. So it drives me crazy that here we are with all the plans, and here's what it's going to look like, and here's when it's going to start, and we are in mid-October, and we still don't know anything more. And then I'm kind of stretching a little bit here. You had the news yesterday of the Music Fest, Beale Street Music Festival. Not going to happen in 2024. Who knows if it'll happen in 25 or in the future. A staple of Memphis is not going to happen. The Barbecue Fest, I think, will be back, but it's not going to be at Tom Lee Park because of everything that went down with Tom Lee Park, with the construction down there, and then they had the Barbecue Fest and ripped it all up. Can we do anything right? Can we get this right? I don't understand. The Music Fest has been a big part of Memphis in May and a big part of this community. And now all of a sudden it's going to be off the schedule for 2024. That's not good to lose things that are a part of the fabric of the community. And what's not good is to have red tape and go round and round and round and round to figure out what's happening with the stadium issue. Not to mention, again, what they're going through with the 901 FC, Redbirds, and Craig Unger, who's never even brought up anymore anyway, but they're sitting there going, are we going to be able to have money to build a stadium to keep 901 FC? We don't even talk about that anymore, even though that was part of the original stadium issue and the concept of helping out 4 entities. Why are we having so many issues here? Why is it always hard here in this city?
Well, I think there's probably a lot of layers of that, but the whole music, the Tom Lee Park thing drives me insane. I will never, ever, ever in the life of me understand the thought process they had behind this whole Tom Lee Park, as if that's going to just suddenly draw a bunch of people here. It's not, and you ruin. I mean, I would guess, I'm just guessing that Music Fest is the biggest event this city has as far as bringing people to town.
Hard to argue.
I would guess that, and you've possibly done away with it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Barbecue Fest is a huge money-making event for downtown. That's no longer downtown. It's because we wanted to put some trees and plants in a damn park that nobody's going to go to, and they just keep sinking money into something that is never, ever going to work. I just don't believe it's ever going to work for any purpose whatsoever. So that's old. I hated that from the day they announced it. I never understood it. Still don't understand it, and they'll never possibly explain it to me. The other stuff, when you're talking about dividing up $500-600 whatever $1 million, and again, you get one-time shots at this when you're renovating a stadium. You get one shot at it. You don't want to screw it up. So you're trying to, again, because you got to make sure you satisfy the Grizzlies because you can't lose them. So you got to make sure and that you get one shot at that to make sure everything's right on their end. And then you're only getting one shot at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. So there's a lot to be figured out. And the bottom line is, right now they don't have enough money to do both of them. With where construction costs and everything else have gone, they don't have enough money to do what they want for both of them. So you have to figure out the give and take to try and meet it in the middle, where either you find more money or you have to satisfy both sides with not enough money, and that's hard to do.
Well, the question is, when they first went to the state, were they thinking that we don't want to be too greedy, and if we ask for more, maybe we'll be denied? Because when you think about it, with those projects, especially what it's going to cost at FedEx Forum, especially with the cost of labor, material since COVID, $350 is a drop in the bucket, because now we're talking about all these taxes and bonds and things that'll have to be thrown in. I mean, you still have to get approval from Congress. You still got to get approval from the council. You still got to get state approval on certain things. You got to get approval from the Grizzlies as far as the ticket situation, if you're doing things like that to find extra revenue to pay for this stuff. But I wonder if we undermined what the value was of what we would need from the state and went a little bit too low as far as that's concerned. Number two, I mean, I'm sitting here, finally the council, yeah, we'll take your $350. Of course you're going to take it, but I mean, they finally voted on that to be able to accept the $350. But I wonder again if they went lowball because they were worried they weren't going to get anything. It was all or nothing. I don't understand that, because when you look at these projects, I don't know how that even maybe 350 was not a total number. They thought that we can do this and then we're going to do other things with taxes and bonds. I don't know. But
that's what was announced. That's what the mayor announced originally.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is maybe I would have shot for the moon there and went for $500 million or $750 million from the state.
And again, I don't know this. I just assume because of the way politics work, I would guess that they asked for the number they knew they could get.
Yeah, and that's probably right. And I'm not knocking.
And knew they weren't getting more.
And I'm not knocking them. That's probably what happened. But if it wasn't the case, again, then you go, maybe you undersold it a little bit. But now, since that money was allocated by the state and they got the approval, you sit and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait. And again, I understand the importance of the Grizzlies. There's no question about it. God forbid you lost an NBA team. God forbid they went to Nashville, for goodness sakes. They have everything. But the University of Memphis, who, of course, are a tenant at FedEx Forum. We understand that. And a tenant at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. Neither one's their own stadium, but we know the importance of that stadium. We know the importance of the university. And so they got to sit and they got to wait and they got to wait and they got to wait. And they throw out those beautiful videos and pictures of what it's going to look like. And, that seems now almost premature. Get everybody excited. It's going to happen one day. There's going to be renovations, but will it happen on the timeline that Laird and the university wants? I don't know now. I think it's almost going to be impossible with a changing of the guard with the mayor. I guess there's some councilwomen that'll be different, councilwomen that'll be different. I'm not sure. I didn't follow the election too closely other than the mayoral race. And they have to decide on things, again, with these taxes and bonds. And so there's a lot of hoops they got to still jump through. And you just think, there's no way this is going to be on time. And as Laird said, his quote, a delay on the stadium could cost the University of Memphis years of revenue. And that's the one thing you don't want to see, is Memphis, which already has a hard time financially with the situation they're in, to be behind the eight ball as far as losing revenue when they can gain that revenue from that new refurbished, beautiful stadium. Again, they're not looking for refurbished stadium. So it's big pain in the rear for a lot of people. There is no question about it. All right, 2 hours in the books, 1 hour to go before we get our weekend started. We'll open up talking with Brandon Lang, as he is the handicapper with a flair. If you haven't heard Brandon, stay tuned. He'll be talking some NFL. He'll be talking some college football. Then we'll do 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. Maybe your last opportunity, depending on how you respond to 10 in a row. Is that a threat? It is. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 at 98.5 FM.
Shopping at DriveMax. DriveMax. You get value.
Need a car that screams I feel good? DriveMax has it all. From cars to SUVs, find a tightly inspected used car that'll have you dancing all the way home. Call 901-664-2424 or visit DriveMaxApproval.com.
DriveMax. I got approved.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with two of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Uncorn flavor, Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering has been our specialty for almost 40 years. Corky's makes it easy for you to impress your guests at parties, family reunions, weddings, or just treating your hardworking employees to a great meal to say thank you. Let us do all the work and you take all the credit. We will come to your location, set up and serve your hungry guests an all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet starting at only $9.99 per person.
Corky's Barbecue.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE 678-6055, MSRP 21,610, Nero P501-7859, MSRP 41,090, EV6 P501-7859, MSRP 49,687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, the weather's getting cooler, but the deals keep on getting hotter at Gossett Kia South. What you got going on, Jeff?
Only the best deals you'll find on your new Kia, Randy. I've got 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $27.99 due at signing. I've got EV action with a 2023 Nero EV Win SUV, 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 due at signing. And a 2023 Kia EV6 Win, 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still looks pretty good right now on Billboard's Parkway 385 as you continue out at Collierville, headed towards Shelby County. Still looking good up through South Haven, 55 northbound, all the way up to Brooks there at Elvis Presley. And limited traffic still coming across the bridge here on I-40 over from West Memphis. Smoky Mountain Fall Festival is going on right now through the end of the month. Check it out at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Witness the power.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:05 the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. Brandon Lang joins us in just a moment. We are in the Family Leisure Studios. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 67 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. We're looking at a bunch of clouds today, but a little bit of sunshine, so a mixture with a slight chance of rain, but very slight chance. High of 81, overnight low tonight of 56, and then tomorrow mostly sunny skies with a high of 70 degrees. Real quick before we bring Brandon on, I have to ask you this, Eli. There's a story from New York. A New York school bus driver has been fired for drinking White Claws on the job, claiming she didn't know they had alcohol in them. Do you believe her? Is it possible to think that White Claws don't have alcohol? I'd ask Zach, but Zach does not drink alcohol.
I could listen. There are a ton of really dumb people in this world. So, yes, I could certainly see somebody thinking that.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, I'm not sure it's that person, but I think I can see that happening. Absolutely.
I mean, if any general person you're talking about in society, there's about a 70% chance they're dumb. So.
I'll ask Lang if he buys into it. Time for Brandon Lang.
It's time to handicap this week's action. Joining Greg and Eli is sports handicapper Brandon Lang, subject of the movie Two for the Money.
It's P equals P. You walk into a strip bar and you let her take your hand and drag you into that champagne room. Pressure equals problems. You just can't do it. And I'm telling you, pressure equals problems in the NFL.
Get Brandon's plays at BrandonLang.com.
There's 4 things you can't handicap in sports. There's 4 things. Penalties, turnovers, player stupidity, and coaching stupidity. What are they smoking?
Also, listen to Brandon with Clay Harbor and Cam Rogers on the Believe Podcast Network.
If you're on a dating app and they don't show a body picture, run! Run!
Now, here's Brandon with Greg and Eli.
It's time for the great Brandon Lang, who joins us on Fridays during the football season. Brandon, do you buy that woman's excuse that she didn't know there was alcohol in her White Claws?
First of all, there's no way in hell. Like, listen, my girl will say stuff to me, and I'll look at her and I'll say, "Have you lost your effing mind?" Like, that's my statement to her, and she knows when I say that, that's the dominant side of me looking at her saying, "You have lost your mind" by saying that. So I say that's my response to this. She knew. Come on, man.
She knew exactly what she was doing, right?
Absolutely. You're not. You can't. Well, I went into 7-Eleven and they were right there by the stand, and it said White Claw. It looks like a fruity beverage. So I grabbed a 4-pack, and I'm just riding around the bus with the kids. And as I had a couple, I was kind of feeling a little lightheaded, and I was like, "Hey, I like these things. They're really good. But they don't have any alcohol in them." Come on, Jimmy, get on the bus. You got to let the ice.
Just a little pick me up.
On ice.
I want to know if she got carded when she bought them, because that would have been a first clue. If you got carded when you bought them.
Well, I listen. As crazy as it sounds, when they ask me for my ID now, and and there's their place still do that, and they go, "Oh, now you're 16." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Wow, I'm like, "Yeah, I get it." Don't. My girl does that all the time, but. No, I'm not buying it at all. She knew what she's doing, and enjoy those White Claws at home. And by the way, my Aunt Marilyn and my mom both drove school bus, and I rode the school bus, so I'm very sensitive to drivers that have kids under their protection, and that's something I do not take up, and I don't take that lightly at all. But now that that's out of the way, let's get to the game last night. So, because this is a chance to educate your listeners a little bit. So, my girl and I met out for a cocktail before heading back to her place, play a little backgammon, a glass of wine, watch the game. And she knows that I love the sense of style of over-the-knee boots, like a skirt or something with over-the-knee boots. That's a huge. If I can find a woman that wears that kind of style, I'm done. Just check, please. Done. She had on a black top, a black leather skirt, and a pair of gray over-the-knee suede Stuart Weitzman boots. And she shows up at the bar. She gets out of her car, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm done. I'm done." First round knockout, Mike Tyson, TKO, ding, 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 done. I mean, I wish she's a stinking guy. Listen, I've outkicked my coverage so far with this girl here. I swear to Jesus and her grandmother and her mom and everybody. I said, there's no way I'm losing the KC game tonight. No way in hell am I losing this game tonight. So then we're sitting there and the game's going, and it's like they get inside the 20, they set a short field goal. And I'm like, God, this isn't good. She goes, no, you're up 3-0. I'm like, no, you're laying double digits in the NFL, and you start settling for field goals inside the red zone. So what do? They get right down there again, kick another field goal. I'm like, oh, my God. And now I'm getting angry. She's like, no, you're fine. Denver can't score. I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the game, something crazy is going to happen. And sure enough, they self-destruct. They punt it back. And now it's 16-8. She's like, oh, my God. She's ready to commit suicide. And when she gets angry and frustrated, she takes it out of me with the paddle or the crop or whatever else is in store for the slap game and the anger slap game. And so when Casey got the ball, and teaching your listeners something, with 6 minutes to go and you need basically a field goal to cover the 10.5. She goes, what do you need? I go, you're going to need a chunk play. She goes, what's a chunk play? I go, you're going to need a play that gets you out to midfield by 4 minutes. Because if you don't get that, Casey's going to run out the clock and your final score is going to be 16. Mm-hmm. You're going to need that chunk play. You're going to need a big play, or Casey will run out the clock. So sure enough, they got the long pass. It got down to the 34, and she's going crazy. When she gets excited, she's not one of those gals that gets excited and kind of taps you on the shoulder. And, oh, honey, that's just so great. She's a tomboy from Alabama. So when she gets excited, she gets violent. Like, yes, and just punches you and like, yeah, like she's a guy's guy.
Perfect description of a woman sports fan from Alabama.
By the way, was she as excited as Taylor Swift on a Travis Kelce catch?
Oh, she loves me a lot more than Taylor Swift loves Travis Kelce. I'll say that right now. Let's just leave it at that. And the slap game's got violent, which is fine. But anyway, a little 50 Shades of Grey or whatever. But now let's get back to it. So we get the chunk play. And then now you get the sack, which moves the field goal back to the 51. And it would be just like Buster to miss this, and they win by 8, and you don't cover. And so now her whole emotion switched to sweating this field goal. Well, he pipes it right down the middle. They're up 11, and they cover by a half. And she's like, after the game's over, she's like, I can't take it. I can't take this business. I can't take your business. I can't. I'm like, listen, it's okay. It's okay. And she can't. She's doing great. She's understanding it. She's understanding. Remember, from ground zero, she understood nothing. And now she's kind of getting it. She's into it, and she thinks it's just crazy how this business pans out with these games. Well, it's not every game can be Frisco blown out Dallas, which was a 200-dimer on Sunday, and it was probably the easiest we'll get all year long.
Well, we had we had that ending, as you said, with the cover on the Butker long field goal. And then we had the crazy result, and I don't know if you were glued in at all to that Houston game against West Virginia. That was one of the nuttiest finishes, Brandon, not just because they completed the Hail Mary on a deflection. It's because Houston was up by 11 with 4 to play, and West Virginia was giving 3. And they score, get a 2, and then get the ball back, score again. So now they're up 4. So now West Virginia's covering. So if you had money on West Virginia, you're sitting pretty, and then lose it on a Hail Mary by Houston at the very end. Crazy game.
So, yeah. I actually, okay, so picking, because I'm having a great football season at BrandonLink.com, and I'll tell you what, I'll credit my girl. You guys, I've been very open and honest about how she's kind of centered me in my focus, and what if I were within my life or whatever. I won in August, I won in September, I'm winning in October. I've hit pretty much every big play but one so far. And I was looking at which game to use yesterday. And I'm not, you guys know me, I'm not a big chalk guy. Mm-hmm. I'm just not. I'm not a big chalk guy. I'm a dog guy. There's value in the underdog. I've talked about it on this show forever. And there's value in the dog. But I just couldn't get my arms around Denver. But I liked West Virginia. But they're coming off the big win against TCU, and I'm like going, wow, that 3 is a weird number on the road. But I don't trust Houston plus 3. I'm not going to lay 3 on the road. Listen, if KC can't beat this team, Miami put up 70 on them. If they can't beat this team by 21, there's something wrong. So I just took the easy way out and took the favorite on Thursday night and got lucky with Casey letting them hang around. I watched the first half of that game, and West Virginia was in complete control. I'm like going, okay, well, West Virginia was the right side. I've not gone on YouTube and watched the highlights, which I will do now after your show.
You need to.
Just to see what happened. Absolutely. Because now I do the ESPN Lawyer with Drew Diener, and Drew said the same thing. He says, I don't know who you had in that Houston-West Virginia game. So Val, I'll go watch it. I would have been, imagine her watching that with me.
Oh, gosh.
We're down 11.
She might have left you.
No.
She watches both games together. My gosh.
She'd have beat the crap out of me. Like, I got to date a guy that's in this kind of business. You're going to put me through this kind of stress.
Right.
We get home, get on your knees. You're taking a beat. I mean, just like whatever. So the KC game was easier, but for someone who doesn't understand the emotions of this business, she's seen some pretty crazy games emotionally that has given her idea. Like, I don't know how you've done this for 30 years. There's an admiration part from her. But since he works for $1 billion commercial real estate company and the stress of what they do, I think it's insanity what's on her plate, what she deals with every day. And she comes home and she's just so stressed out. I get it. It's the same from her lens to me, this business of like, I can't believe you've done this for 30 years. But it is what it is. And you guys, we love it. But it really is crazy how some of these games and these point spreads in Vegas makes you just scratch your head and say, wow, which happens every week.
So we've got a big game here in Memphis tonight in college football.
Love them, and will be shocked if they don't win the game outright.
Wow, really?
Yep. I've waited for this game for 2 weeks. I really have. Tulane's getting so much respect because of the win against USC. And I get it. That is something to be really proud of. That's something to hang your hat on. It's a game they never should have won, USC, and Lincoln Riley kind of let that completely slip away. I know some buddies who had some massive losses on USC in that game, money line and whatever, and they're still pissed about it today. But what's Tulane done, really? South Alabama, first game of the year. Okay, impressive, because South Alabama's turned out to look pretty good. Got blown out at home by Ole Miss. They played Southern Miss, Nicholls State, and UAB. That's it. You look at Memphis. If not for the 2 interceptions that, Hennigan threw, they have a chance to beat Missouri. And they're playing great. They're at home getting more than a field goal. I do not see Memphis losing this game by more than a field goal, and I'll be shocked if they don't win the game outright. I just don't. Seriously, maybe I'm completely wrong. It's a Friday night home dog.
I said it yesterday. I picked the Memphis by. I thought Memphis. I don't know if they'll win outright, but 3 points. I think that's what the game will come down to, a field goal, and you're getting 4.5 at home. All right. Elsewhere in college football, let's rattle off some of these. Oregon, Washington, the big one out west. 2 undefeated teams. Washington at home, 3-point favorite. Both teams with really good quarterbacks throwing up some big numbers.
Well, she lost her last game. Finally, she had Washington State, which, by the way, was right there until the bonehead QB of Washington State throws the pick in the fourth quarter. She had it. But thank God, guys, because I was taking a beating. So it was good to be able to kind of relax and have her come downstairs and not whack me when I'm at the fridge. There's been no whacking, although she said I'm going to, if I don't win my college game on Saturday, she's going to let me have it on Saturday night. But this is her slap game. Oregon's in a huge revenge situation. They lost last year at home, 37-34 as a 12-point home favorite. Huskies got them. But you look at Oregon, better defense, just a good offense. I like them in this spot here. I really, really do. They're 8-2 straight up against the spread last 10 Pac-12 games. I just think they're the better team, and I think getting points is the way to go. Take Oregon.
Another game tonight, Colorado and Stanford tonight. I think Stanford's pretty much hot garbage. I thought that line would be bigger than 11.5. Do you like Colorado to cover?
Yeah, I do. Stanford's got one good game, which was at Hawaii. I just think that this kid Hunter's coming back. He means so much to what Colorado does. The last 7 times Stanford's been a home dog of 10 or more points. They're 0-7 against the spread. That's enough for me. You ready for this? Stanford in conference games, it loses as a dog. Get ready for this. This will blow you away. The last 22 games, the last 22 conference games that Stanford has lost as an underdog, 2-20 against the spread. Let me say that again.
Wow.
Get your head around this. Last 22 conference games, they've lost outright as a dog, 2-20 against the spread.
So they lose. They ain't covered. They don't cover.
No, exactly
lose.
right.
And they're going to lose. I don't see how
lose the game.
No, there's no way. This is a statement game. This gets him to 5 wins.
Yeah.
gets him one away from bowl eligible, and what he's done from a team that won one game last year, it's the greatest coaching job in college football. There's no way around it.
Yeah, look, it's been a great story. Tennessee and Texas A&M, interesting. Tennessee coming off the bye. A&M's defense really, really good. Max Johnson questionable as a quarterback, not as far as whether he'll play or not, whether if he's good. They're 4-2. Tennessee's 4-1. Games at Neyland. Big crowd. What do you think?
Kick the field goal? What the bleep is wrong with this man? 4th and goal at the 3, and you kick the field goal, so then you got to get the onside kick to even have a chance to win, and you're down 8. What is wrong with these coaches? Cristobal of Miami not taking any. What is wrong with these guys? Ever since weed became legal, I think a lot of these guys are buying into the gummies, boys. I think they're high as a kite, chewing gummies on the sideline with some of the decisions they make. What made you think against Alabama, 4th and goal from the, 5? We're going to kick the field goal. We're going to get the onside kick. We're going to go down and score. I mean, you go for it. If you don't get it, they're down at their 5-yard line. Okay, here we go again, down 8.
Mm-hmm.
Made no sense.
Well, he went he punted on 4th and 1 from the 45 too.
It's just like I said. Ever since weed became legal, I think a lot of these coaches are just sitting in their office, sitting there getting baked on gummies. They got the girl going against some brownies and ice cream and some Haagen-Dazs, and they're just sitting there saying, "Man, this is the greatest job in the world." So now, that being said, bad numbers for the Aggies here. 0-4 is a road dog of 7 or few points with Jimbo Fisher. They're 2-15 straight up as a road dog. And are you ready for this? 0-11, their last 11.
Wow.
I wouldn't trust this man with an inch of his life. Tennessee minus points.
Yeah, I'm with you.
In the NFL, you mentioned the 49ers, an easy one against the Cowboys last week. Cowboys staying in California. Get the Chargers down in L.A. The Cowboys, a slight road favorite here. Do they rebound?
Nope. And I'm going against some unbelievable numbers. Dallas 8-0 against the spread last 8 games, coming off a loss. 5-0 straight up and against the spread on the road on Mondays and coming off a loss to 14 or more points. I told you I don't trust the head coach of the Chargers to save my life, but that Dallas defense is in trouble against these receivers. I just listen. You couldn't go on the road and beat Arizona. I don't think you can go on the road and beat the Chargers. I don't trust Mike McCarthy. I think Dallas is overrated. I've said it before. Vander Bosch is now out. It was another linebacker. I'll take the little home dog here on Monday night.
Here's an interesting one. Speaking of the home dog, Cleveland is a 9.5-point dog at home, but Deshaun Watson's not going. Their defense, though, has been really good, but they're playing the 49ers, who look like they're the best team by far in the NFL. Does San Francisco kind of sleepwalk through that one? It's a 9.5-point spread.
She's going with a pair of black leggings with over-the-knee black boots for Sunday's outfit.
Mm-hmm.
This is her slap game in the NFL.
Ooh.
Cleveland plus the point.
There we go.
Wow.
You're getting more than a touchdown with the number 1 overall defense in the NFL. And I just don't think that coming off the Dallas game and the motion of the Dallas game, coming on the road here, I really, really love it. Now, I'm putting an asterisk by the slap game, though. If Deshaun Watson plays, I told her.
He's out.
He's out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then she said she's not playing. This is the slap game since Deshaun's out. But even with Deshaun being out, I like Cleveland plus.
Yeah.
Just the strength of the defense. But I will say this. What I do really, really like is under the posted total in this game. I think it went down to 41, I want to say. I really like the under in this game.
All right, one more. Your maybe one of your faves that you want to pass along to our listeners from the NFL?
I think Baltimore rebounds with Tennessee. Tennessee is 1-14 against the spread as either a favorite or a dog of 5 or 4 points. This is the AFC North. Let me give it to you again. 1-14 against the spread as either a favorite of a dog, 5 or fewer points versus the AFC North. Boys, sorry, it's the Baltimore.
So it doesn't matter. It's in London or any of that crap, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
The Ravens. I think Tennessee's done. I think Tannehill's done. I just do. That's just my opinion.
By the way, that Browns 49ers total is 35.5 that I'm looking at.
Yeah, it went down then. Yeah, once Watson got listed as out, it's down to 35. Yeah, I still like the under.
Still like the under. Man, 35.5 just seems like no points at all. But, man.
No, but again, I don't know how Cleveland is going to score, but I do think Cleveland's defense, number one defense in the NFL, I think they're going to slow down the Niners in this a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you. He's the best. He's Brandon Lang. You can hear him every Friday during the football season right here on Sports 56 Mornings. Of course, BrandonLang.com is the website. The terrific podcast with Clay Harbor and Cam Rogers. Check that out as well. Have a great weekend. Don't get slapped too hard. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you now.
If you're watching the action, whether it be college football tonight, if you're not going to the Tigers game, want to watch the game and all the other action, or the NFL, or whatever it is that's on, it's always on at East Coast Wings and Grill. And while you're watching the games, you can enjoy great food like their 60 different flavors of wings or any of their burgers or other sandwiches, maybe one of their flatbreads. So many great items on the menu for you to choose from, but it's all about the wings. That's the feature. Again, 60 different flavors for you to choose from. Plus, of course, you've got drinks. You got 24 draft beers on tap. Any other thing that you want. If you want White Claws, they do have alcohol in them. They've got those for you as well. Actually, I don't know if they have White Claws or if they have Truly. I think they got one of them. They got seltzers. I can't remember if they got White Claw there or not, but they got seltzers for you. You're taken care of in the seltzer department. And yes, they do all have alcohol in them, no doubt about that. Plus, they got a great staff, all kinds of great people hanging out there. It's just a great, fun place to go hang out and watch the games. East Coast Wings and Grill, located off Highway 64 between Lowe's and Walmart. They're on Kate Hyde Boulevard. That's where you'll find them. It's where you're going to find great food and great drinks and all of the action. East Coast Wings and Grill.
All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to play 10 in a row. It's the game show that has swept the nation. We have done 10 in a row for years and years and years. We've given away thousands and thousands of dollars of prizes. We want to give away prizes. We want to continue this. But if the participation continues to dwindle, I'm not going to waste my time putting this together. So right now, it's up to you. I don't care. I'm not giving you the question yet. Jump on the phone lines, the Sports 56 listener lines at 360-8255. I will decide today whether or not this lives or dies. 360-8255. We'll come back. We'll give you the topic. We'll give you the prize package. If you want to play, we'll do it. If not, we'll move on. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Pizza lovers and sports fanatics, Ferraro's Pizzeria is your Sunday ticket headquarters. Catch every pro game on multiple big screen TVs while enjoying $2 beers, $9 beer buckets, and mouth-watering pizza. We're talking the cheesiest, most delicious New York pizzas in town with all your favorite toppings. What are you waiting for? Grab your family and friends and get to Ferraro's, corner of Jackson and Main, just east of the Pyramid. Enjoy every pro game at Ferraro's Pizzeria and Cheesy Corner, your game day destination.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new fall arrivals from TaylorMade, Callaway, and Titleist. Come by and test drive the new TaylorMade P790 irons, the new Callaway Apex Pro iron sets, and the new Titleist T-Series irons. While you're there, get a free custom fitting on the new arrivals and more. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is your headquarters for all the latest golf gear from all the top manufacturers. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at edwinwattsgolf.com.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place, the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Go where the season takes you, and it'll take you to huge savings at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Be packed with power in 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. 37 MPG combined, $18,755 or $199 a month. Ready for adventure? 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $25,595 or $299 a month. Plus 7 seating and top safety pick 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SUV, $32,185 or $399 a month. And every new Gossett Mitsubishi is equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months, 500 military rebate. Loyalty Conquest rebate 500. G4 RHFO 1918 MSRP 19255. Sport PU 015 137 MSRP 26595. Outlander RZ 006545 MSRP 33185. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Okay, this car looked great wrapped around you,
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
That's why we're taught without trading this one
At
like an
Caesar's
old
Palace in Las Vegas, the shops at Caesar, you walk through that.
The Forum shops, yeah.
Yeah, the Forum shops. Is there a giant Caesar fountain peeing?
I think there is. If there's not, there should be.
There's a giant fountain in there. I think he's peeing.
They're always peeing.
I want to say
they drank a lot of wine back in the day.
I want to say if somebody can confirm, I'm pretty sure the Caesar fountain. There's a fountain in there with Caesar peeing.
Well, of course they have. Well, they did. Wasn't it a fountain that Evel Knievel jumped over? Like the outdoor thing, wasn't that part of it? Like back in the day, I know what you're talking about as far as the shops. I think you're right about that. I'm trying to look it up. Yeah, I think here it is. I think.
Is he peeing? Is it a peeing fountain?
It put me to another thing. Fountain of the Gods. Is that possibly it?
That might be it actually.
Yeah, tourist attraction in Paradise, Nevada, at the Forum Shops at Caesars. The Fountain of the Gods.
Is it a peeing fountain?
I can't get a good picture. Are they peeing there? I can't tell. That's only part of it. It looks like it's pretty wide. They put the show on, don't they, where it starts to fake rain and all that? Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't remember if anybody's peeing in that or not.
I don't know if he is or not.
I feel like there's one. I was thinking there was one out there. There was somebody who was peeing. Love a good peeing fountain. This hour is brought to you by, and hell, in Vegas, you piss away a lot of money too.
That's true.
Acura of Memphis. This hour, every day, brought to you by the folks at Acura of Memphis, Ridgeway 385, online, AcuraMemphis.com. Beautiful weather to go take a test drive in one of those beautiful Acura automobiles and talk with the great folks over there. Ask them about what deals they've got going on. You can always find out what deals they've got going on through their website as well and get a lot of information on all the different models of Acuras. Plus, you can get the inventory of pre-owned vehicles, including the certified pre-owned Acuras. All of that you can find at AcuraMemphis.com. But then go on over there, take a test drive, feel the Acura difference and the great experience you're going to get every time when you go see the folks at Acura of Memphis.
Time now for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
It's the game show that has swept the nation. It is 10 in a row. If you'd like to participate, and I suggest you do, 901-360-8255, Sports 56 listener lines. Call in. We have open lines right now. Again, whether or not we continue this for the future after, I don't know how many years we've done 10 in a row. It will depend on what you guys do today. The question is college football stadiums with top 10 capacities for the 2023 season. So college football stadiums with the top 10 capacities for the 2023 season. What are the fine folks who listen to our show religiously, and we love you, what are they playing for?
Well, you don't have to listen religiously to play.
I know. I'm just, I'm trying to be nice.
I've got a big prize package today. I've got $25 gift certificate to East Coast Wings.
Okay.
I got a $25 gift certificate to Ferraro's Pizza down in the Pinch District.
Nice.
I've got 2 Malco movie passes. I've got a free haircut at Supercuts. And golf for 4 at Miramichi.
All right, so we're talking about a prize package that goes, what are we looking at? Well over $300?
Yeah, that would probably be over $300. Yeah, I would say so.
All right. We're not promising you this prize package every single week. But whether or not we continue with 10 in a row for the future depends on you jumping on the Sports 56 listener lines right now and participating. It is pivotal right now, and I see that you have responded. The lines are packed. Hopefully there's thousands and thousands waiting to get in. But the lucky 4 that have gotten in, we'll see if we get to all 4, because maybe our first caller, Eli, will be a winner. It's college football stadiums with top 10 capacities for the 2023 season. So if I said Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, you would say?
No.
No, it's a large cavernous stadium, but it's not a top 10 stadium. Let's go. I like what I'm seeing here from our listeners. The response has been pretty darn good.
All right. Let's start with Wayne. Hello, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne, how are you?
Hey, doing great. Greg, I just want to say I first met you when you were doing a remote in 1995 at Newbies on the Highland Strip.
Wow.
So hang in there like a hair on a biscuit, buddy.
Wow, that's aging me pretty well, Wayne, but I appreciate it, man. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the name of the stadium, and I'll give you the school, so in case you don't know the name, and then if it is a top 10 in capacity for the 2023 season, it is a yes. If not, it's a no. All right, here we go. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida.
No.
Rose Bowl, UCLA.
No.
Camp Randall Stadium, Wisconsin.
No.
Sanford Stadium, Georgia.
No.
360-8255, the number. Wayne, I was rooting for you after the compliment, but that was a decent run to start things off. Thought he'd definitely nail Sanford Stadium, but...
Compliment. He just said he met you.
Well, it's nice. I'm sure he's been listening and watching me for all these years. I appreciate it. Don't want to put words in his mouth, but...
I mean, he may hate you. He just said he met you.
I don't think so.
Well,
You going to make me feel bad now?
Most people that meet you probably hate you.
No, that's you. You're talking about yourself here. All right.
Mario, what's up?
Hey, Mario.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
You don't get a show like this in the city other than ours, do you, Mario? Come on. Two guys that fight like cats and dogs. Come on. All right, you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, I'm going to try this.
Ohio Stadium, Ohio State.
No.
360-8255. College football stadiums, top 10 capacities for the 2023 season.
Steven, what's up?
Steve-O.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Doing well. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida.
No.
Rose Bowl, UCLA.
Yes.
360-8255 is the number. We do have one open line, but I love it. I love it. You guys are calling in. I appreciate that. Who's next?
James, what's up?
Hello, James.
I wish Mario would have got about 9 in a row. Right? Yeah, let's go.
All right. Ohio Stadium, Ohio State.
Yes.
Bryant-Denny Stadium, Alabama.
Yes.
Notre Dame Stadium, Notre Dame.
No.
Williams-Brice Stadium, South Carolina.
No.
Vaught-Hemingway, Ole Miss.
No.
Alamo Dome, UTSA.
No.
Neyland Stadium, Tennessee.
Yes.
Clemson Memorial Stadium, Clemson.
No.
Beaver Stadium, Penn State.
Yes.
Michigan Stadium, Michigan.
Yes.
You didn't need Mario, my friend. Great job.
James, congratulations, sir. You are a winner. You got a big prize package coming your way. Hold on.
All right.
Very well done by James.
But very well done by our listeners, and there's still 3 on the line. Are you going to give a second chance opportunity today, Eli?
Yeah, you know what? I'm in a good mood today.
Yeah, let's reward them, right?
I'll give these 3 a chance. Let's go Mark first.
Mark's first. Hey, Mark.
Hello.
All right, here we go. Second chance opportunity, Mark. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida.
No.
Rose Bowl, UCLA.
Yes.
360-8255. Actually, we're not taking any more calls. We got 2 on the line. Who's next?
Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. All right, again, college football stadiums with top 10 capacities for the 2023 season. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida.
No.
Rose Bowl, UCLA.
Yeah.
Next. Keep missing. Keep missing on Rose Bowl.
I wonder if Jake had the fat man in the car with him. Dan,
and
what's
finally,
up?
Dan.
How are you, Dan? How's it going?
Going well. Let's see if Dan can be the man. Second chance opportunity. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida.
No.
Rose Bowl, UCLA.
No.
Camp Randall Stadium, Wisconsin.
No.
Sanford Stadium, Georgia.
Yes.
Kyle Field, Texas A&M.
Yes.
Memorial Stadium, Oklahoma.
No.
Texas Memorial Stadium, Texas.
Yes.
Lane Stadium, Virginia Tech.
No.
Tiger Stadium, LSU.
Yes.
Hard Rock Stadium, Miami.
No.
Second chance winner, last chance, and Dan comes through.
Dan, I'll put a prize package together for you, and congratulations, you are a winner, sir.
And Eli, I hope we talk to Greg into staying and doing this.
Well, you just helped.
You helped an awful
Although,
lot.
I don't know, you guys might have cleaned out my prize closet today. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I just took up golf, Eli, so I'm going to tear that course up, literally.
There you go.
Enjoy, Dan. Good job.
Thanks,
All
Dan.
right, thanks, guys.
See, now I got to come up with golf.
I think I have golf. I think I have another golf.
Well, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You came through. I was serious, too. Eli knows I was serious about pulling the plug. We have done this for years and years and years. We're going to keep doing it. We got thank all our great sponsors as far as those who provide for those prizes for you. Terrific prize packages each and every week. We'll come up with another question next week and give you a chance on Friday for 10 in a row. Love it. Love the response today.
Speaking of great sponsors, Genesis Diamonds. They are great. If you haven't tried it out, if you haven't been by there yet, you need to check it out. If you're in the market for jewelry, especially engagement rings, if you've got, you're thinking about popping that question, you got to get that ring. Well, go check out the selection at Genesis Diamonds. You will be blown away by the selection, as well as the value and the service that you're going to get when you go see the folks at Genesis Diamonds. They have changed the jewelry game here in Memphis. Maybe it's not an engagement. Maybe it's a special anniversary or any other special occasion. The holidays are just around the corner as well. If you're in the market for any jewelry, go check it out at Genesis Diamonds. You will absolutely be blown away from the moment you walk in the door when you see the selection. Just case after case after case of jewelry, including those amazing selection of engagement rings, plus other fine jewelry, the pre-owned Rolex watches, the selection they have of those as well. No phony pricing, no gimmicks, no games. And their salespeople are not on commission, so they're not there to pressure you into buying something more expensive. You've got to check it out for yourself at Genesis Diamonds. Poplar Commons Shopping Center. That's Poplar and Perkins Extended. They're right there in the middle of the shopping center. Go by and check them out at Genesis Diamonds.
All right, when we come back, it's our final segment of the week. Last opportunity for you guys to get your thoughts in on the Tigers in Tulane tonight or anything else that you'd like to talk about in the world of sports. Just hit us up at 360-8255.
Somebody texts in and says, everything I look up says the Rose Bowl is in the top 10.
Well, it's not, because they include in the top 10 this year the Cotton Bowl. And the Cotton Bowl is where the Red River rivalry is. The Cotton Bowl is ahead of the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl is number 11. So if you're not including the Cotton Bowl, which has to be included because a game was played this year, the Red River rivalry, the Rose Bowl would be number 11. And that's the facts, Jack. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
We interrupt this broadcast for special news and information concerning family leisure.
The world's biggest spa sale is back and bigger than ever at Family Leisure. How is that possible? Well, let me tell you. You start off with 50 different spa models to choose from 5 different manufacturers. Then you throw in up to 30% off in-stock spas and swim spas. But is that all? Oh, no. You get free upgrades on all in-stock spas, plus 24 months, same as cash. Wow! This is the kind of sale that you just can't have every day. But it's happening right now at Family Leisure, the world's biggest spa sale. Soak in the savings right now at Family Leisure, Witten Road and I-40. You know the place where family and fun come together.
Please remain calm and walk, don't run to Family Leisure. And now back to your regular programming.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hi, fellas. Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and it's fall now. The weather's changing, the days are getting shorter, and we all are at least beginning to think about Christmas. This will be our 38th Christmas at Russell Brothers Jewelers, and I enjoy every minute of the season. Come see our wide selection of the finest jewelry in Memphis. Jewelry guaranteed to make her happy. Diamonds and rubies, sapphires and emeralds, the most beautiful gemstones you can imagine, and you'll find a vast selection of rings and earrings, bracelets and pendants that will show those gems off to their finest advantage, and they'll put a smile on her face. With our 5 decades of experience, we can help you find just that perfect piece. The piece that says, I love you. For 38 years, we've offered the most stunning jewelry in Memphis, and when you couple that jewelry with our quality and beauty, our value and service, you'll be glad you joined the Russell Brothers Fine Jewelry family. Russell Brothers Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
The 4-1 Memphis football team is home Friday, October 13th at 6 o'clock for a huge conference matchup against Tulane for first place in the conference. It's wrestling night. Enjoy the matches on Tiger Lane and meet and greet with the wrestlers inside the stadium. Tickets start at just $20 to watch this big-time conference matchup. Be at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium Friday, October 13th at 6 o'clock. Purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGoTix.com.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Get them to sign on the line which is dotted.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Gonna put the world away for a minute. Pretend I don't live in it.
I think the Lexi Thompson story is pretty incredible if she can continue on and somehow make the cut. She played 16 holes yesterday before darkness put a halt to the rest of the round at the Shriners Children's Open. That's a PGA Tour event out in Las Vegas. Bo Hostler, the leader at 9 under 62. So she has to finish 2 holes today and then play, of course, that second round. Right now, she has 1 under par. And the cut line, the projected cut line, is even right now. Well, now actually she's finished a hole. Okay, they keep moving this thing around. I think she might have bogeyed 17. Yeah, she did. She bogeyed 17. So that was tough, man. She goes 16 holes and then darkness. They don't even finish the round. The poor lady's still out in the course, and she has to come back in the morning, probably having to think about it a little bit. She bogeyed 17. So she has 1 hole to go. Right now she's 2 over par. And the cut line, and this is so early with the projection because you have a whole second round to go, is even par. There are a good portion of golfers well behind her. There's at least...
She's at what? She's
2 over.
They said she was 1 under yesterday through 16.
Did she triple that then? I mean, this thing's all messed up. It just put her at 3 over, now back to 2 over. I'm trying to find... that's the video. I'm trying to find... No, yeah. I mean, it said 1 under through 16 yesterday, unless that was a mistake. But either way, right now, according to PGAtour.com, she's 2 over through 17. So she's got a hole to go. And then a whole second round. I don't think she'll make the cut. There's too many players in front of her. But that's pretty impressive. Now, you go back in time, Annika Sorenstam played at a PGA Tour event, played well, missed the cut. Michelle Weiss played, maybe some other female golfers. I don't know if anybody's ever made the cut in a sanctioned PGA Tour event, but that would be something. That would be an incredible story. Just a little sidebar story in the world of sports happening this weekend.
I have no idea why they're having her play in this event. It really doesn't make sense to me, but that's nonetheless, it doesn't matter.
Well, you know, in the whole male versus female sports battle, there's really no chance that women have going mano-a-mano against men. But in the world of golf, that's the one that's the closest. Now, she doesn't hit the ball as far as they all hit it. They probably all hit further off the tee than her. But you find fairways, you find greens and putts. You know the game of golf. You can at least put up that score. You're not worried about what the other person's doing. You're worried about what you're doing. So that's the closest one I can think of. Bowling may be another one. But certainly you're not going to look at other sports and compare. And don't get me started with tennis. Don't get me started with the whole tennis thing, the whole Bobby Riggs, Billie Jean King thing. Yeah, it helped the women's movement.
Believe me, I do not want to get you started on that. I don't want to get anybody started talking about that.
I'm just talking about the women's movement was fine. It helped with women's and empowerment and all that. But come on, Serena Williams would get in her prime would get mopped up by like the 1,000th ranked PGA, 1,000th ranked ATP player on tour. But again,
should have asked, Brad. I'm still stunned that the Oregon-Washington total is only 66.5. I feel like that number should be higher than that.
I don't know, man. I'm afraid sometimes to play those games that had the high number. I thought SMU and East Carolina would score a bunch of points last night. It didn't happen. That was an under. Now, the Houston-West Virginia game got crazy, so that was an easy over. But I'm always a little leery of playing the high numbers.
You like your Terrapins over Illinois? Illinois been bad.
Love them. I think Maryland, after what happened in the second half to Ohio State, which I figured would happen, did not surprise me whatsoever. They'll come back at Bird Stadium at home. Not sure if it's homecoming or not. They should drill Illinois. Illinois' got no offense whatsoever. I think Maryland should probably win that game. As long as they're as physical. Illinois is physical. Maryland should probably win that game something like 42-17.
Yeah, Illinois is just old Brett Bielema. That offense is just not working. And I'm surprised. I was surprised that line. You could get that line right now under 2 touchdowns at 13.5.
What do you think about? I won on Michigan last week. What do you think about Michigan? It seems like Harbaugh doesn't care about running up scores. They're 33-point favorites over Indiana. That's a lot of points. But is this one like a 49-7 game? Feels like they all are for Michigan.
I mean, that's what Michigan's been doing to everybody, and they just keep playing. They do that to bad teams, and they keep playing bad teams. So I would say that's a lot of points to give in a conference game, but I certainly ain't taking. I'm not going on the other side against Michigan right now.
Are you surprised, even though it's a roadie, that Ohio State and Purdue, that line's only 19? Purdue's awful.
Purdue is terrible, but Ohio State hasn't. I mean, their offense just hasn't been explosive.
But Henderson's back for this game. You're under 3 touchdowns? I know it's the Big Ten, and then again, I don't know what it even means. I know it's the Big Ten. I mean, there are some really bad teams in the Big Ten that can't score. We just talked about Illinois, Indiana, Purdue, Iowa. These teams can't score. In the SEC?
That Iowa-Wisconsin game, which you, for some reason,
could be an eyesore.
6.
Well, I throw something there. A little curveball.
34.5 right now, total. 34.5.
The worst is playing an over and teams going up and down the field punting.
Think about that. 34.5 points in a college football game is the total. And there's a good chance it won't get there. That's the Army-Navy game will have a higher total than that.
Yeah.
Army-Navy will probably be like 37.5. They had a 34.5 total in a college football game. In the world where we have spread offenses and everything else, there's a damn college football game where the total, the over-under, is set at 34.5. That's embarrassing.
What game outside of tonight's game and outside of maybe Washington, Oregon, which should be a really fun game with a lot of potential impact for down the line in the playoff, what game are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to Texas A&M, Tennessee.
I thought you were going to say that. You still like Texas A&M, don't you?
I do.
I love Tennessee. Love Tennessee in that one. All right, so tonight.
But as Brandon said, if Jimbo needs to actually coach with a little bit of aggressiveness.
Maybe a little sense of urgency. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Now, you seem to be taken back by Brandon's jump all over Memphis pick. You took Tulane, if I'm not mistaken, right, in our picks. I took Memphis, although, again, my lean is that I hope to God the Tigers win this game. I'll be on the sidelines for the broadcast. But to me, it's a 3-point game. I think the Tigers can win this game. If they lose, I don't think they're losing more than by a field goal. So 4.5 to me seems like the play. He loves Memphis. Does that change your mind at all? You still sticking with that pick that you had? Obviously, for our picks, you're not going to change it. But
I think Memphis has a chance. I just don't like this matchup. I was surprised to hear Brandon love Memphis. I could understand somebody betting on Memphis and liking them, thinking it's going to be a close game. I don't like the matchup up front against that Tulane defense. We'll see if Memphis is able to block them. But if Memphis can't run the ball, and then those guys get to turn loose a little bit on Hennigan, that could be a bad situation. But I'm not going to be surprised if the Tigers win the game. I'm not a fan of this matchup for the Tigers.
Again, it looks like it'll be great weather for the game. The crowd, I think, is going to be fantastic. We had Laird Veach on, who said it's certainly going to be the biggest crowd they've had this season. The highest announced was the Boise State game at 30,000 and change. I think this one has a great chance to be around 35,000. I know it's a Friday night, and there's really not much you can do about it. You asked Laird that question. It sucks for people who are involved in high school football and have kids that are playing high school football. Fortunately for this particular Friday night, there's not a lot of high school teams in action tonight, but there are some big games, including MUS and Christian Brothers High School.
Quite frankly, when it is your biggest game of the year, and especially home game, and you gave away 2,500 tickets, I would hope you have the biggest crowd of the year. If I could, I would hope that this would be the biggest crowd so far when you gave away 2,500 tickets.
Right, but 2,500 is 2,500. It's not 10,000. So if they can get still 35,000 people, that's 2,500 freebies. That's still 32.5. And I think
that's just the additional 2,500 freebies they give out up the other freebies they give out.
Well, did they this time? Do you know?
Every game there's freebies.
Yeah, but
we give away freebies. Every other radio station in town gives away freebies.
Yeah, but we're not talking about thousands and thousands as far as that's concerned. And we're not talking about this being one of those Kroger $10 discounts. Now, for the folks who bought the $60 tickets, they're hoping that streak continues. You get a win tonight. You got SMU still to come in. You still have South Florida to come in. Who knows if you roll through 6 home games, they win them all, and it ends up costing you $10 per game in the end. But that'll do it for us this week here on the program. We want to thank all you folks. You came through today with 10 in a row. Thank you for listening. Your calls, your texts, your tweets, we always appreciate it. Big thanks to John Varlas, to Laird Veach, and to Brandon Lang for joining us on the program. Coming up next, Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Dave will have a lot more on the Tigers and Tulane. We will talk about it on Monday, along with everything else that happens in the world of sports over the weekend. We'll start bright and early at 7 a.m. on Monday. For Eli Savoy and Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great weekend, everybody.